Okay, we should be live now. Hopefully. Please be working. Okay, it is live. Hello, everybody. Let's just make sure this is capturing everything. Should be. Come on. It's not wanting to flick over to what I've got. Anyway. Hello, everybody. We've got Smoking Cats here, as well as... Oh, there we go. Now it's showing it. Yeah, so we've got Smoking Cats here, and we also have TFJ, Taskforce Jackal, and we're going to be doing the finals. So have either of you guys actually sorted who's choosing map first, or are we just doing coin flip, or what's going on with that?
I figured we would just do a coin flip. We haven't talked about it with each other.
All right, coin flip it is then. Who wants to call heads? Who wants to call tails?
Phosphor?
Let's go heads.
You want to go heads? Okay. Let me... Wherever this is going to be. There. Should be showing a stream now. Okay, so you guys are going... TFJ are going heads. And Smoking Cats, you guys are tails. Whoever wins gets to choose either the map and alliance, or the coalition or imperial, or, you know, vice versa. So, let's flip it. And it's landed on heads. So that means that for the first game of the best of 3, Taskforce Jackal will be choosing either the map and what side of the map they'll be on, or they'll be choosing whether or not they're coalition or imperial. So what are you guys deciding?
We'll go for the map.
Go for a map. Okay. And I'm guessing you have a map ready already?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So looks like we can get this started already. So do you mind saying what map it is?
Yeah, it's Stokatch 1800.
Oh, Starkitch. Okay, interesting. Well, let's get the show on the road then.
Phosphor, if you can host.
Yep, I will.
What side of Stokak are you wanting to be on?
The first side.
Alliance
one.
Yeah.
This already calls for being rigged. I showed on stream, guys, I swear.
Let's double check. Password's gonna be 000.
Okay.
It should be up. What factions are you guys picking then?
Here, let me load in.
Can we
yeah,
just
let's go to
quick version
let's put
check?
VC for a second and discuss.
Yeah. If you guys want to take a quick 5 minutes to split VCs and talk strategy and preparation, go ahead.
Yeah, we best do that.
Okay, I am on the right version. Huge. Okay, everybody. So I actually have a little bit of a special guest today, who will be turning up in just a minute. Just waiting for him to jump in. So usually we've had Tom casting the streams. Sadly, Tom isn't able to make it to it right now. He's going to be joining the stream in a little bit. However, we do have a different person who is going to be jumping in, which is going to be really cool. And I think it's going to be the debut of him on my channel, as well as kind of in coordination with myself, unless you're part of the campaign. Whenever he joins. He'll be joining in a second. Hoi 4 games when? I'm up to do some Hoi 4 games. It's up to you guys, though. Oh. Is that who I think it is? It is who I think it is. Everybody say hello to Mr. V.
How's it going, everybody?
How's it going? You probably know Mr. V from his YouTube channel doing Lines of Battle content. But recently our circles have intertwined, and he is now doing FCN stuff also.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, and obviously I'm already an expert.
Obviously, big expert.
Better than all of you.
Wow, no, that's a claim. That's a claim. That's a claim that's going to start wars.
Yeah, sorry, that was me being the ultimate keyboard warrior. No, I'm really new to FCN, but I've really been enjoying it. Obviously, I'm super grateful to Dan and Tom and Chris for letting me join their little group. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice. We're great people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the kindest. But yeah, I'm excited to offer whatever small insight I can. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, it will be awesome, and your insight will be valuable. I do have one question to you, which is, do you know how to get your game back onto the tournament version?
Well, yes, I do, but just to be sure that you know, why don't you tell me?
Oh, okay, you're right. You're right. So do you remember putting 7.4 in and everything?
Yeah.
So all I would say for you is go to your 7.0 download that you have and drag all of the like you basically just put your game files in as if you're playing 7.4, like 7.4 with the 4 GB patch. Literally, that's all you do. You just replace everything and then chuck your user script in. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
So you're saying, yeah. So you're saying I downloaded this previously?
Yes, it was when you originally got onto FCN.
Oh.
So it's the 7.0
okay.
and the 7.4 hotfix.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to do that reasonably quickly. Okay, so I see the 7.4 final and I see the 7.4 hotfix. Okay,
Yes.
so I just have to reopen those, you said?
Yeah, so the 7.4 final, that's the main file, so you put all of that stuff in, and then once you've done that, then you put in the hotfix files.
Okay, can you remind me, does that all go in the data folder?
That does. So everything, so the folder saying FCN maps and all of the files saying FCN, all that goes in the data folder. Then there'll be a file saying readme. You don't touch that one. There'll be a file that says user.script. That one goes in your scripts folder. And the hotfix is just database files.
Lovely. Okay, now if I remember right, the script folder was in a different spot.
That was in, that'll be in app data and roaming.
Yes. That's one of the great things about being friends with you is I've learned much better how to actually navigate
Exactly.
navigate files. Okay, app data, roaming. It was the creative assembly. Ooh, I'm learning. Okay, so Napoleon opens up, and then where does it go specifically?
Napoleon and scripts.
Okay, so just drag FCN 7. No, I don't put the hotfix in there.
That would have been a mistake.
That could have been a big boo-boo.
That really could have been.
I got this. I got this. Nobody help me.
V knows
I can do it. I can do it by myself. All right. I love how I already got challenged.
Yeah, someone immediately said Waterloo right now.
His honor was stained immediately.
I know.
You would furious. Win. We don't need to play. Yes. You would win, good sir. Easily.
Well, Mr. V here, you're quite humble. But to be fair to you, we've been playing a couple of games recently, and he's a pretty solid player.
Well, I feel like enough you play enough strategy games and stuff carries over. You know, don't make stupid charges and don't just sit on a hill.
Very true.
Help out your ally. You know.
Yes.
Don't form what was that you said the other day? Don't just form a ring around the edge of the map and then sit there.
That's an important one. I hope you don't forget that.
All right. So hotfix is going in the data folder, and I think that's good. I think I'm ready to rock.
When you load in, you should see there's one lobby that says it's I can't remember the name of it, but it'll be white.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, just because of compatibility.
Yeah. That one I've sent you the password to join it. So you just click it and press spectate.
Oh.
And then
How very exclusive.
It's very exclusive. But that's because this is the final of the Haggis Cup, which has been a multi-month tournament at this point.
Yeah. How are you feeling? It's like sending your kid off to college. Like, are you having some separation anxiety here, man?
I am. Because I'm really scared now because when it's done, you know, I don't know what to do as a parent, you know?
Yeah. Little Haggis has his, cute backpack on.
I hope he becomes a doctor.
Yeah. All right. So what was this called? Oh no.
Is it not?
Oh no, Dan, it's red.
Oh no.
It's red.
Oh no. So you put in all your files, correct?
I did so.
Does that include FCN maps? The folder?
Yes. When you put in the hotfix, was it supposed to replace any files?
Yes.
Okay, that didn't happen.
Oh. Did you drop it into the data folder or the Napoleon Toolbar folder?
Let's consider our options here. I believe I put it in the right folder.
You can share
Let's see.
You can share your screen if you want. They want to see it.
Common Napoleon Total War data.
Yes.
Yeah, I put it in there.
What else
hold on,
is in there? No other files.
In the data. FCN 7.4 hotfix, FCN maps, and then all those lovely files.
Did you put the files in the FCN hotfix then? Or just the folder?
Oh, just the folder.
Oh, yeah. So you need to open that up and drop the files then.
Okay. So let me...
Idiots!
Oh, you
Who's this guy spectating and casting the finals? He's a moron.
Incompetent ninny! Yeah, well, if you didn't know I was incompetent, that's your fault at this point. Okay, so I shall open the folder. I shall grab the files except the README.
Yes.
And I shall put that directly into the data folder. All right. I'm feeling good about this one. Ooh, and I got the replace files pop up.
Great. 2,
okay,
4,
excellent.
6. 6 plus 4 is... Oh, wait, no, so that's 10. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 12 is 19?
19?
Should be.
Yeah, 7 plus 12 is 19.
Yeah, so I'm just making sure my counting is correct because I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate?
Oh boy. All right, spectate.
12,
Come on.
13,
The moment of truth.
15, 16, 18, 19. Yeah, 19.
Oh, that's an ingenious password, Dan.
I know.
All right. Beautiful. Turned up white.
That's good.
And I believe I am entering the room. I think I'm in the room. Hard to say.
Is it just a gray? Is it kind of like a grayed out lobby screen where you can just see their names?
Yeah.
Then we're on
Yeah.
then we're in. That's it.
That is beautiful.
Oh boy, it is. Okay, so we can jump straight on into it. Nothing happened, as we can see here, we have Phosphor and Amish, also known as TFJ, Taskforce Jackal. They are playing as America in the Imperial side. However, as their opponents, we have Clone Trooper and Exilian, the Smoking Cats, who knocked out Tom and Chris in the last round, playing as the United Kingdom and Russia. So Clone Trooper and Exilian, losing the coin flip, chose to play as Coalition, while their opponents, who chose the map Stockage 1800, was TFJ. They've been forced into playing the Imperial side. So to reiterate, from the semi-finals, the rules of the semis, V, I wasn't sure how much you were in touch with the semis. Were you watching much of them?
I did tune in quite a bit, though how much I understood a lot of it, that is still a point of debate.
Don't worry, you'll figure it out soon. Anyway, so to explain the semi-finals one last time, as we are sitting in the finals now, guys, how the semi-finals worked is TFJ went against their opponents, and in that battle, they had to choose their factions. Obviously, it was a best of 3. Both semi-finals matches, so both the Smoking Cats and TFJ in their separate semi-finals went to a decider. So these are two very good teams. But the rules were for those matches is no matter what side you're on, whatever faction you choose is banned for the finals. So a little bit of planning, because obviously you might have your best faction for one side, and I know both sides were planning certain factions. Each side had their preferred faction, the faction they knew they had a good build for, and we're actually going in now. They had a good build for, and that semi-finals kind of shift kind of made it so that they were a little bit more unprepared. They had to choose a faction that they're maybe a little less confident with to be able to play as them in the finals while still having a chance to win the semis. So Phosphor and Amsh in their semi-finals match decided to play as Bavaria and Saxony. So two very good Grenadier factions, but both factions, most importantly, were Imperial. So they had 2 factions from the Imperial side banned, and then in their decider, they played as the First French Republic, which means that the First French Republic is also banned for them. So they have 3 factions on the Imperial side banned. 3 very good factions on the Imperial side. However, because of that, that means that the Coalition side for the not Smoking Cats, for Taskforce Jackal is actually completely open. Every faction is available. However, on the opposite side, Smoking Cats against Tom and Chris, in their match, they had, I think it was British Canada. They also had the Native Confederacy. They also had, what was it they had in the other game? Oh, Denmark, and they had France. So Denmark, France, Native Confederacy, and British Canada are banned for the Smoking Cats. So they actually have 2 factions banned from both Coalition and Imperial. So they have a little bit of a wider spread of things that are banned. But most importantly, they have left open a lot of very strong factions. They've still got Austria, Russia, Britain, Prussia. You know, they've brought Russia and Britain so far. Russia and Britain, 2 very, very strong factions. So we're going to see how important that choice was for them.
Ooh, boy. Sorry, I'm scoping out the armies, and I'm very excited. Did you notice the switch that Team Imperial made? They went from America, and then they made what looked to be a last-minute switch to what looks to be Imperial France instead.
Yes. And notably, so again, I don't know how much in touch you would have with this, but this is a very fun match here because the Smoking Cats, they're very, very solid linear players. They're very conventional. When they want to be, admittedly, they can pull some crazy shit out. I mean, the battle they did against Tom and Chris, one of them brought the Native Confederacy. Like, they have lots of contingencies planned. They've got a lot of very intelligent plans as well. When they played against Tom and Chris as Denmark and France, they pulled out a strategy of Denmark bringing 8 howitzers. 8 howitzers. And so they are very, very interesting players to watch because they always have something planned. Whereas TFJ, notably, are very, very good Grenadier and cavalry players. And we can see that right now with Phosphor deploying at the front with Cuirassier de Reserve, a battalion de Cuirassier. I mean, 2 very expensive cavalry units. In fact, they've not even gone for medium cavalry dragoons or Hussars. They've not even gone for light cavalry, and they've brought 2 pieces of artillery. They've got a 12-pounder and another
3.
12-pounder. Is it 3?
Three 12-pounders. So no 6s, no 4s, no small caliber artillery whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, they've really gone for it here. I mean, it's a strong artillery force. In fact, I believe that they have got this thing that they do where they both tend to bring the same army. Yes. Cuirassier de Reserve and Cuirassier. Yep, they've brought the same army again. TFG in their last battles, they brought literally 1-to-1 identical armies. And we're seeing that again. We're watching from TFG's perspective. So we've got Cuirassier de Reserve, Cuirassier. Then they've got a wall of militia as their main line, as we can see here. Many units of militia, I believe that's
13.
Yeah,
I think it's 13.
That is 13. Well,
Yeah.
You're fast at counting. Yeah, 13.
Well, I was counting
militia.
while you were talking, so don't give me too much credit.
I'm still going to give you the credit. But they have 13 militia. That is entirely, in my mind, I imagine that's going to be for screening the grenadiers. That's going to be a front line of bodies. Kind of playing like a Russia. They're going to kind of steamroller their opponents, set up a defensive line with the militia, and then put the grenadiers behind it in these thick reserve blobs. Now, I personally believe reserves are the most important thing, and having grenadiers in your reserve is a massive boost for you. But what does it mean when half of your army is grenadiers? So we're going to have to see how well they pull that off. They do also have a young guard, or Jeune Garde de la Garde Impériale. And they also have... Is that the only elite they have? That is the only elite they have. In fact, they've only got the one named grenadier of their own. The rest are standard grenadiers. They've got 1 elite, so they are playing a little dangerously. Admittedly, they do have Cuirassier de Reserve and Cuirassier. Both have Inspire. So they essentially have 3 Inspire units, 1 infantry, 2 cav. And that is on both sides.
They've both splurged on their general as well. Both have Napoleon himself. So Napoleon and his twin brother are in command of the French. It's actually 16 militia. I did a recount, so even more than we originally thought.
They have a lot of men. A lot of men. And they also have the 12-pounders. So very expensive armies. You can tell it's expensive as well from the fact that their entire front line is militia. I do like that choice, though. Splurging getting Napoleon, honestly, is the best decision they can make. If your front line is going to be entirely militia, who are very brittle, and also you're going for an army of grenadiers who are going to be charging, and they're... I mean, if you're not charging with your grenadiers, what's the point in bringing grenadiers? So if they're going to be doing lots of charging, they need really high morale for that. So that's a very solid pick from them. I think we should have a little look at the map, though. So normally when you bring an army of grenadiers and militia, you're going to be trying to do a little bit of a Russian steamroller. And that's, to put in layman's terms, you're going to be walking forwards. And you're not going to stop walking forwards until you've killed everybody. But in this map, that doesn't... Like, the thing that doesn't click for me perfectly is... This is a map that is chosen by TFG. So they knew that this was going to be how they're going to be defending it, where they're going to be, who's going to be where, because they chose this map in advance. Yet, despite choosing a very solid defensive map, where they've got lots of hills and ridges, and an open terrain and forests, well, they've brought an army that's made to move. And so I don't know how well... They might just be bringing this grenadier stack as more of a reactionary force, letting their militia kind of spot the enemy and then moving the grenadiers there, try to protect against charges maybe. But it's going to be very, very dangerous because we need to take a peek at who's in front of them. In front of them is Clone Trooper, I believe it's Clone Trooper, with a British army. So... Those grenadier charges are going to have to be damn effective or the militia is going to get eaten alive. Any thoughts on that, V?
Well, yeah, you made good points, and now I've kind of been scouting the terrain of the map. It also seems like, you know, you pick this map, and obviously as the defender, you get to stand right by the most valuable part, the big 4-pointer on, is it called Olak? And so the fact that you've gone for a maneuverable army, I don't know. Maybe they just want to be able to wheel and deal. Maybe they want to have a lot of expendable kind of fodder to throw in front to try to defend this really juicy position. But yeah, it does seem odd. It's an aggressive build for a defensive map, which could make for some entertaining spectacle, to be sure.
For sure, for sure. The thing I'm most excited for is, one, I want to see how Phosphor reacts to that British army in front of him. It looks like he's already moving to actually flank a little bit left. He's going to actually... Does that look like he's... Yeah, he's going to be falling back immediately. His whole army is going back onto this little ridge here, as well as the left side of his army moving into the town. Actually, I do like the Grenadiers. If he's going to be holding the town, Grenadiers are where you want urban fighting. However, this map has one very, very specific thing that makes it different to all of the others, which is you spawn in the middle with a reserve far behind you. I mean, really far behind you. But your enemies spawn apart from each other, a whole map apart from each other, to actually say. So we have the Russians on this right side of the map, so the left of the French, who are going to be spawning in this little held area with the tree line and able to march very quickly onto Stalkatch itself, the 4-pointer in the map, which, by the way, 4-pointer in the map, as we always play by LOC, each yellow house represents 1 point. If you see a town with a 2, so there's a 2 here, a 2 here, a 2 here, and a 2 here, that means that the house is kind of disregarded. The house is the point on the map, so the 2. And then you have Stalkatch here, which is the 4. And generally, the bigger the point, the better the thing to take. So there's going to be a big brawl over Stalkatch, I can imagine, especially with an army like a Russia. And it's funny we were saying Russian Steamroller earlier. Well, it's Russian Steamroller versus Russian Steamroller. The only difference is one of those factions is named after the tactic. We're going to have to see which faction can pull it off and which player can do it better.
Well, I was just going to say, maybe this is some sort of counterplay to seeing the Russian player and knowing that, I mean, from what you've told me, Russia's strategy options are pretty linear. You know, the steamroller is their most effective strategy by far. And so I think maybe this is kind of a way of saying, all right, like, we'll meet you in the type of battle that you want, and just hoping that French cavalry quality and the quality of the Grenadiers will win out. Though the one thing I do notice is that the Allies, yes, they are farther from Stalkatch, but the Russians have the British have a very wide deployment zone, meaning they could very easily sweep up a lot of these minor objectives, and those will start to stock up towards the end of the battle.
Yeah, they will. They will. And this is going to be... It's going to be very cool to see everybody doing everything. So normally I join VCs. Oh, my bad. We've been chatting for too long. They've been waiting on us. Yeah, just go ahead. So generally with these, what we do is we hop into the VCs with them and kind of get their idea, their plan, etc. beforehand. But I feel like there's no point in us doing that right now. We've talked a little bit too much. We've gone over the strategies. Honestly, I kind of prefer it like this. We will have a little prelude between this and the next battle where everybody's kind of having a little bit of a rest, because these battles are long battles. With the lag that we usually face, these battles, who do have a 1 hour timer, tend to go from being 1 hour long to being around an hour and a half, maybe a little longer, depending on how well the teams do. Now, seeing as these teams have shown themselves to be very, very, very powerful teams who have done really well against other really good teams, I would be very surprised if this battle didn't go to the timer. Because both sides are going to feel each other out, and either one side is going to do something so ridiculously strong against the other that it can't be countered, or they outplay them massively, or this battle will become a brawl. A brawl that is going to be disgusting to watch, but also incredible to be spectating. We're going to have the Russians as well. The Russians, they're better in melee than the French, although they don't have quite as many Grenadiers as the TFG. Now, my question is going to be, how much have Clone Trooper and Excellion playing as the Smoking Cats, how much have they watched the French? Because if they've been watching the videos and streams of TFG playing, they will know exactly what they're going to be doing. They'll know they're going to be playing with lots of heavy cavalry, lots of cavalry maneuvers, and they're going to be bringing a lot of Grenadiers. And we're going to have to see if they can counter that. Previously, we did actually see the one game TFG has actually lost so far in the entire tournament was in their semifinals match. It went to Decider, as I said before. In that match, They had played Grenadiers in every single match before that with heavy cavalry. They had brought the same strategy every time, and they got countered by Russia, and they lost to Russia. The only faction TFG have lost to so far was Russia. I believe it was Grandma Gang playing as Russia. They completely countered the entire build by bringing unicorns, blowing up any Grenadier reserves, having a front line of lots of men, and then trying to basically force the French Grenadiers, I believe it was Saxon Grenadiers in that battle, into a gunfight. And the longer you stay in a gunfight with a Grenadier, the worse it's going to get for you. Because Grenadiers aren't made for shooting. They've got good shooting stats, but the more you shoot, the worse you are in melee. So there's no point in Grenadiers anymore, and you out-trade.
Well, there's something I'm already noticing from the initial French deployment, which, by the way, this is just the coolest what-if battle of generals. You have Napoleon, Wellington, and Kutuzov all on one battlefield.
It'd be
If
so
only.
cool. If only.
But you're seeing, you know, Phosphor, he's immediately seizing the town. He has a very small holding force, a few regiments of militia. One has a chevron on
We've
it.
already got unicorns coming in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unicorns, long range.
Oh.
I'm guessing those are 20-pounders. In fact, that's the second unicorn firing. And we have Cossacks somewhere. We're hearing a charge. Yes, Cossacks versus Krasier. The Cossacks are actually trying to run away. Get out of there. Oh.
I don't know if it's gonna...
Oh, it's close. It's close. They might just be able to escape.
No. It's
I don't think they will.
I don't think so.
I don't think they will.
No.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Oh, that's going to be an excellent local win for the French. I mean, they haven't lost a single cur, and because these Cossacks are trying to stay on the run, they're just taking free losses from the French. And I don't know, maybe, I guess the one silver lining is you just tire these curs out and you push them to the back of the map. But what I was going to say before is that it seems as if Amish is planning to basically secure Phosphor's right flank, and they're just going to make a giant fishhook with the hinge being the town of what is Stockek? Stockek, I think.
Something like that. Oh, Krasi to reserve, losing. How many is that? 13 men from a direct howitzer shot. Oh, the unicorns. The unicorns are paying for themselves right now. This is exactly what you do with the unicorns, and it's Exilian. Very experienced player. That's exactly what you do. You aim for the high-value targets. The second heavy cav turned up.
And look at this. The British are already engaging this vanguard of militia. We've got German light battalion, 1, 2, 3, at least 4, 5 units of the King's German light battalion. And they'll make quick work of these militia, but like you've told me many times, if it's a straight shootout, militia actually proved to be very, very cost-effective, already putting a decent amount of kills on these German lights.
Yeah, exactly, because militia just have that boost in manpower. First of all, they're wasting your bullets. But second of all, not only are they wasting your bullets, but they generally trade better than you, because these British units, these British lights, very expensive units. And the way you beat a Briton is you just attrit them. You just slowly pick a little bit off here, pick a little bit off here, and slowly, just over time, you will be able to deconstruct their army, because Britain generally doesn't have reserve lines because they can't afford to have a reserve line. Their men are so expensive. And so by bringing a militia stack like this, yes, they're going to be getting eviscerated, and they are. I mean, Clone Trooper masterfully already flanking round him. He's already causing problems for the British. In fact, if he is able to move as quickly as he has already, he might just be able to take all of this defensive terrain before Amish is able to get there. Although he
has to be careful. There's nearly 300 heavy cavalry right on his flank, and so if he rushes forward too quickly and gets too, focused on the militia, we could see a really nice catch of those curs. I'm also seeing there's some sort of heavy artillery firing from this hill, and so it seems like they're just aiming to, damage Phosphor and basically bombard Stockek from both sides. I really like that.
Oh, we've got charge. In fact, it's a charge attempting to catch King KGL out, forcing them to form square so they can hit them with the cav. Oh, but that did not go well for Phosphor. It was a smart move. He was trying to lock him into melee, because if you're able to reach melee against a infantry unit before they form square, you actually are locked out of being able to form square. So it's a nice tactic sometimes to bring militia and then charge in with the militia, which is kind of a useless unit, and then throw in your heavy cavalry once the unit can't form square and just evaporate them. But Clone Trooper had his eye on the ball, and he also got a point-blank volley from his square, which slaughtered a lot of men in that militia unit. But yeah, it's this is going to be very interesting to see. I mean, I really like this. The problem for France right now is by having an army like this that is designed for attack, and playing it in the defensive means that you're playing to Russia. So a big part of playing as Russia is having the artillery. And so by having two 20-pound unicorns that are right now invincible, unless the French heavy cav is able to do a number on the Russians, but I imagine the Russians are going to have a lot of men there. Unless they're able to do a number on the Russians and somehow get round them to the unicorns without taking too many casualties, all that's going to happen is the unicorns are going to pick away. Ooh, nearly catching that 12-pounder out with the unicorns, but they're just...
you were looking at the same thing. I saw it.
They're just going to very slowly pick them apart with the unicorns, and they're going to blow up all of the reserves. And right now, they're doing exactly that. They're blowing up the Cressida reserve. It's almost lost 30 men.
Oh, man. Well, one thing to remember, though, Dan, is that the advantage that the French enjoy is the advantage of interior lines. Mm-hmm. The reinforcement potential for the Russians and the British is zero, right? Yeah. So if either army loses in their engagement, there is no hope of aid. Whereas the French are kind of laid out in this very central position. It does kind of remind me of like a Gettysburg fishhook. Yeah. But, you know, they have a better chance of actually reinforcing their teammate. And, ooh, that 12-pounder now unpacking some canister on the Russians.
Oh,
nearly killing 30 men in that one shot.
Oh, it's a great position for the artillery. It's looking right down the road that the Russians are going to be marching down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Exilian right now, admittedly, his whole tactic right now, if I was him, I'd probably pull some men back, sit in the forest and let the unicorns talk. Because right now, the unicorns are... Ooh, they're blasting, but the thing is about interior lines, you're 100% correct. I mean, the French are going to be more connected than the coalition are going to be. The only problem for the French being is that the Russians want that. I mean, the Russians have already almost, I was going to say almost, they did just break a 12-pounder already. We have a charge as well on the front line. We have Phosphor going for a grenadier charge and some light battalions being swatted away by Clone Troopers infantry. But yeah, I mean, it's already unicorns paying for themselves. They've already broken an artillery piece, and now the left flank of the French is completely open for artillery. And Russians tend to bring a lot of men, so we'll see if they're maybe able to swing around them. I am actually seeing one big problem here for the French. V, can you spot it?
Oh, let's see. Besides the broken 12-pounder?
Yep.
Oh man, the French line is starting to look more and more disjointed the more I look at it. Mm-hmm. And the British, it's almost like they're coming in like a wedge, and they're just slowly pushing in on the French line, and it's all starting to sort of collapse towards Stockach already.
Yep.
But I mean, what are you seeing?
That is almost exactly what it was that I was thinking. Oh my god! One of my favorite artillery pieces in the game, opening fire. The British have brought the spherical case shrapnel artillery of the British. Oh, I love it so much. But yes, it's exactly what you were talking about. The British have come in with their light infantry, and they've already formed a wedge in the French. I mean, the French do have a little front line, and it is a solid one. They've got artillery coming in and everything. But right now, the French are actually standing back to back in Stockach, one looking forwards, one looking behind, because the British are closing in on them. And Phosphor, Phosphorus is he's having to fall back because he cannot hold against the British alone. And he's actually giving up the heights. He's giving up this hill that is the key central area of the entire map. He's giving that up. Ooh. We have a Russian charge
here
by
the Russian musketeers, and it looks like they're going to try to pair that with the cuirassier, the lifeguard.
Oh,
though that's actually going to do quite a bit.
Yeah, they got the square off. The infantry is still going to beat that square, but it means a lot. It just means that the British and the Russians are now joining. Oh, the spherical case again, hitting the grenadiers. But yeah, so right now the problem for the French is that they actually, while their whole plan is to Phosphor goes to the left side and kind of holds Stockach, and Amsh kind of walks in into the center. Right now, their center is empty. They have a Grenadier line who is currently falling back off the most important place of the entire map, which is that hill they're standing on. They're fighting the British over that hill. That hill is so important. And oh my god, a 12-pounder gets caught out by British cavalry.
What?
On the other side of the map? Oh my god.
Oh no.
The British cavalry sniping a 12-pounder. Oh my god. What a
that's
spot
huge.
from Clunger, but that is a massive thing.
Our men are running.
Wow. Okay, what a
Man.
snipe. Okay, the
Yeah,
battalion militia breaking now. Yeah, the Russians are meeting the British.
The artillery losses are bad for the French, but something we have to remember is that we have a lot of fresh grenadiers that are in good health and numbers, and most of the casualties inflicted by the British have been against militia, and we're looking at some of these light troops. I mean, 175 here, 201 there. It's not like the British are getting this off scot-free.
Oh,
So
100%,
these expensive units are taking losses, and in a sustained fight, you know, even though they don't have the 12-pounder support, this is actually fairly good trading so far from Amish.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the British right now, they're kind of falling for what I say falling for, but they're kind of doing what the entire plan is of AMS. So right now, they need to balance this really well, and it's a really difficult task. I have confidence in them to be able to do it because they're great teams. But right now, the task of the French is so key, but it's so difficult. What they need to do is they need to balance how many men they are losing in their militia with how much they're retreating of the British. Because right now, their militia are losing their gunfights. Oh, 100% losing their gunfights. I mean, they're losing across the line in their gunfights. But you can see just how many men they're picking off from the British. And as I said, the amount of men you lose in a Grenadier unit...
Sir, our general is under
General's
attack.
The amount of men you lose in your Grenadier unit means that your Grenadier unit is going to get worse and worse and worse over time, and they're slowly going to be essentially useless in a melee because they'll break really quickly. But
look at this! Look at this! The British falling back.
Grenadier
They don't want to
swarm.
take it anymore.
Yeah, I think what's going through their mind right now is one, they're getting cancered by a 12-pounder, which hurts. You can see it on that British unit. But also, they're kind of, I think Clone's thinking what I'm thinking, which is that if he keeps taking these casualties from the militia, which the militias are a nothing burger unit. Oh, a militia unit getting caught out by Russian heavy cavalry. Ooh.
I will say, it's impressive how many Russian units are being held back by just a militia and a grenadier. And you almost wonder, are the French overcommitting to this woods position?
I think they are.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
They really are. Because right now, they are about to lose a lot of units. So they've got one Grenadier unit here, which is going
Oh,
to
the
lose
Grenadiers
these
have gotten
ones.
into melee in the woods. Look at that. They've engaged some of the Musketeer Battalion.
It's good. It was a good charge, but again, I think it was essentially fruitless because all they're doing is they charge in, and they're going to get charged in the back by the Russians, who have cavalry superiority there. They also have Grenadiers. They're essentially just losing all of the units in the forest for essentially less.
Oh, but we've also got a mass Grenadier charge here. 2 Grenadiers going into the foot battalion. They're going to catch the foot battalion. Although this other foot battalion might get away, but that's going to be a really juicy charge there from the French.
Oh, but it has revealed something that the French did not want to see, which is British reserves. And in fact, melee reserves. This is the British melee reserves. Highland Foot, a man after my own heart. The Highland Foot coming in to clean up, and we've got some cavalry coming in too. The French Grenadiers didn't spot it. They're getting hit by the light cav. Clone forming square quickly to stop the reserve from being able to catch anything.
I honestly think the cav is going to break, though.
Oh my god, the cav
Grenadiers
breaking.
driving off the light cavalry. 20 losses just that quickly.
Wow.
Man, Grenadiers they're brutal in melee, but if the Highlands get off a volley here, it could be worth
Oh,
it.
they are 100% going to get that volley off, and not only did they get the volley off here, I mean, they've done what they had originally done, which was they've secured the heights, and those Grenadiers are all very tired. Oh, volley! Oh, and these guys
that's brutal.
forming square?
But now the Cuirassier getting involved, and they're going to force the British to get into square as well, going to make them more immobile, which is going to allow the Grenadiers to try to pin them down. And yeah, the French, I don't know. I think the lack of commitment from the Russians here is giving quite a bit of trouble for the British. It's allowing the French to fight them on even ground.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. But there's a couple. I mean, they're making some great moves here. I mean, they just broke that foot battalion there. I mean, the pushing in of reserves from the British is big here. The problem with it is how many reserves do the British have? Do they have enough? I mean, right now they are pushing this back. Oh, the artillery, great shot.
But there's still so much French infantry in Stockek.
Yeah, and the French, I mean, ultimately that was a successful attack. They broke more British units and did more damage to British units than the British did to the French. I mean, the only problem I would have with it is that they lost that forest, kind of unnecessarily. They lost a couple of Grenadier units in that. They also lost a couple of Grenadier units kind of just outside the forest on the British infantry. But that was a very solid attack, and the best part of that attack is they were reclaiming the heights. They have taken back the hill, which is, it's, like I said before, it's a really commanding position. Whoever gets artillery up there generally gets artillery dominance over the entire map. And not only that, if you can get your men up there, you have a hill to hold. I mean, you have a hill to shoot down on.
The Highland Foot Battalion, they're charging in on the militia.
Oh.
No, they're going to stay there charged.
No,
I thought they were going to go all the way.
They're going to point blank volley that militia. Ooh. I mean,
but see, again, I go back to the fact that the French militia have kind of been the most valuable part of both armies so far. I mean, they've inflicted, there's a couple of light battalions that are nearly half strength at this point. Really, really good cost-effective trading here from Imperial France.
And that's the force in the hill proving its worth. The Highland Foot that just set up gets surprised by battalion of militia point blank with them. And if there's one place you do not want to be against a militia unit, it's point blank. That is where they do best. It doesn't matter how bad your accuracy is if your enemy's right in front of you. Oh wow, this is a really good battle so far. I mean, the French have just proven what we were kind of talking about earlier, which is that the more casualties they inflict with their militia, the easier it's going to be for the Grenadiers in the charge. And that is exactly what just happened. The Grenadiers, also, I just want to point out, fantastic job from Ansh and Phosphor, pulling their Grenadiers back after that charge. I mean, their Grenadiers are all resting now, and they're behind the crest of the hill. They're not taking casualties from overshot.
Oh, are you seeing the extreme right flank of the French? Amish is gearing up for something. I mean, we're talking 3 or 4 lines of infantry are geared up. I'm thinking there's a big right hook coming, and it's got cavalry support as well. That's where the general is. I think Amish is about to do something big on the extreme right, which I think they need. They need to make a break somewhere. The French just can't maintain the line. They've got to try to get a superiority in some part of the battlefield. And honestly, the extreme right of the British, or the extreme left of the British, excuse me, I think that might be the best spot.
I think so. I mean, right now there are some fantastic artillery shots coming in from Ash, just proving how important artillery facing is. I mean, he's taking 2 units of infantry of the British, and like we said, attrition is the enemy against Britain. They're just picking them apart with the artillery. They're doing the damage, but that is going to be really, really interesting seeing how he pulls it off. I mean, he's moving forwards. He's got a couple more Grenadiers units coming in. He's got the heavy cav. He's got the Cuirassier. I don't think he's got his Cuirassier the Reserve in the center, kind of to help with the Grenadier charge in the middle. But this is going to be something filthy, especially when Clone Trooper's entire left flank over here is light infantry.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you're the veteran player here. Explain the Russian kind of passiveness to this point. We've seen a big drawback of the Russian forces. Stockek is no longer under any serious threat from the Russians. It almost kind of feels like it's a bit... Oh, now as I say that, here comes the Russian line advancing.
Curse. Every time you say something, it comes... it tends to be the other thing. I'll tell you exactly what I think is happening. I think the Russians were moving to link up with the British, with a lot of their army. The whole time, their entire strategy was to get their unicorns and blow the fuck out of the artillery. And I mean, you can see the craters around this 12-pounder. They've killed the 12-pounder already. There's another 12-pounder here. And when you're playing as Russia... Oh! Never mind, there's no 12-pounder anymore. That's a bit
Well,
break. There it is.
Yeah.
Wow,
Commentator's curse
Yeah.
strikes again.
It strikes again. And so what I was about to say is the enemy of a Russia, if your entire strategy is to advance and walk forwards, what's the one thing you do not want in front of you? Canister, because you're going to get killed by it. And so if there is a canister in front of you, there's no point going there. I mean, you see it every time. If there's ever a cannon in the line, you always see the player that's against will either create a bowl in their line or fall back entirely. Like, they will not go for it because it's a stupid strategy. You're just, you're handing the kills to your enemy. So, as a Russia, I think exactly that is what Exilian was thinking. He was thinking, I'm going to nuke the 12-pounder, which he did, and he just killed it as well. Now that he's killed the 12-pounder, he can advance. But I think in that time, he was taking everything that was meeting the British, because I think originally they were a bit scared of not being connected to the British, not having a kind of ally.
Wow. That is a lot of Russian musketeers.
It really is.
And they just keep coming. Though I will say, on the extreme left of the French, this is excellent defensive ground that Phosphor has picked. It's right at the end of a bit of a river valley. So it's going to be really hard to unhinge that flank. But I'm a little bit more worried about StockX. That is a wave of Russians oncoming.
It really is. Not only that, they've also got the British pushing in the flank. I mean, I was thinking that the Russians were a little worried about not having a secure flank. Oh, what a volley, by the way. I think they were scared of having not having the British in their flank because they were easily separable. However, once they figured out that the Russians weren't the Russians weren't really opposed in that forest, let's say, by the French, I think the French grabbed all those reserves they had in that forest that were kind of being used originally to be able to punch through and meet the British. When there was nothing to punch through, they've just counter-marched them to the other side of their line. What I'm expecting is for something to come out of this right side by the border of the Russians, maybe a grenadier push or something. But here we go. It begins.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of more potent unit coming with this Russian charge, because Musketeer battalions, I don't think that's going to be nearly enough, especially since now the French Grenadiers battle has been joined.
Here they come.
And in this sort of knockdown, slog-out street fighting, I feel like the French Grenadiers are just going to do really well, especially against Russian muskets.
Yeah, this is... Oh, it's going to do so well. I mean, the Russian Grenadiers are better than the French ones. I mean, we do have the 57th Les Terribles, which is the named Grenadier unit of the French.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, someone's running somewhere. But, oh, it's that unit there. But, like, the Russian Grenadiers, first of all, they have those nasty combined Grenadier units coming into the town right now, actually. The 320-man Grenadier slabs coming in.
Man.
But they also have the Pavlovsky, which are even better Grenadier units. I mean, they've got incredible stats. The Russian Musketeers alone can stand in melee against most Grenadiers. I mean, right now we see it. They're tired and they're winning in melee against the French Grenadiers because that Grenadier unit is, it's half strength, it's weak. Where is the Russian general? Russian general actually running into the fight right now because the French general has done the same. Phosphor bringing Napoleon in. Oh, the unicorns! Unicorns actually doing it as they should. They're going for the reserves of the French and they're blowing them up. I think the Russians have it. Oh, but never mind. Here comes the counter to that entire thought process. The Cuirassier.
Yeah, I was just seeing them on the periphery of my map, and they're going to be able to do a lot of damage. And at the same time, the other side of the battlefield, it really has ground to a halt. I'm not exactly sure why Amish is continuing to hold this rear position with so many troops, especially since the amount of British troops trying to defend it is really, really small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe perhaps a bit of a mistake there to not be perhaps maybe getting more reinforcements into StockX at this point, because that is where the main fight is happening.
Yeah.
But look at this. Some Russian muskets being driven off and more Grenadiers. Oh, look at he's bringing in the Young Guard to combat the combined Grenadier battalion. And these guys are down to about 2/3 of their strength already. Wow. Both of them are.
Yeah, and that's... Oh my god, the unicorns! Like I said, slam the reserves. They just killed like maybe 50 men in that Grenadier unit just from a unicorn shot. And here comes the Cuirassier, the reserve, coming into the Russians, who actually can't form square. They are hitting themselves in the back, but it's not going to do much to them. But those Russians are going to get injured. But how long can the Cuirassiers stay in that melee? I mean, right now they've got one Cuirassier unit. Oh, we've got a Grenadier charge on the British as well in the Hell at the same time.
Yeah. And it looks like
wow.
Phosphor is he's completely constricting his line to guard StockX. And the further the coalition pushes, the harder it's going to be to get into these smaller combat zones. And I'm just looking at how many fresh units Amish still has. So many Grenadiers, the heavy horse. Yep. And I wonder if, if the British and Russians throw themselves against StockX and they bloody themselves too much, how are they going to deal with a basically fresh, renewed French army when it arrives?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it depends on how hard. I mean, Amish right now.
Oh man, look at those Grenadiers. They're catching the Lightfoot Battalion and they're putting them to work. Taking the paddle to them.
Oh yeah, holy.
That's
oh my God, yeah. I mean, this is amazing right now. I mean, the absolute brawl in the town. More reserves are coming. The Cuirassier de Reserve as well being brought over. Looks like a little bit more of a push, actually, gun-wise for the Russians on the right side. But where is the rest of the Russian reserves? We have the spherical case artillery actually being shifted to that force, where there's a little bit of a scuffle there. The British actually winning that melee on the hill, being able to.
I can tell you where some of them are. They're on the extreme right again, engaging militia. And I gotta say, I've harped on it a couple of times, but the French use of militia here has just been, I mean, this is how militia are meant to be used, to hold points of little interest and just weigh down more expensive units from the enemy. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, this is great so far. I mean, the British lining up in this
The men
hill.
are fatigued, sir.
Men are fatigued, apparently. Well, the men on this hill, they're a little bit battered. We've got 94 in this. We've got the general back here taking a little bit of casualties. But this is the meat and potatoes of the fight right now. We've got so many Russians here. We've got tired units coming back. We've got units resting in the back line. We've got the Pavlovsky. We've got the Lithuanian Guard here as well, standing in the back line. We have so many dead bodies in this line, and the Russians are starting to break through, but it's going to turn into this is just the outskirts of the town on the river line. It's going to turn into an all-out brawl in the middle of this town, and I am so excited to see it.
Our men are running.
And the horns have sounded on the far right flank. Amish is no longer, he's done waiting. Released. The militia are pushing forward. The Grenadiers are pushing forward, and he's going to put some pressure on the British, because if he can draw away some of the British forces and allow more of his units closer to StockX to sneak in and reinforce Phosphor, the French position could hold out for a long time.
Oh, they really could. I mean, right now, the weakest part of the French line is actually facing the British in that open field, but the British don't have a lot there either. In fact, they're bringing their Highland foot up on top of the hill now. Oh, shrapnel artillery getting some good shots, and we see an open terrain here. You can see where the unicorns have been hitting the moon.
Our men are running.
Oh my God, the melee. Oh, wow. We even have the heavy cavalry sitting here. We've got the Battalion de Cuirassiers that was in the melee over here against the Russians. Actually, they've been pulled back. They lost 10 men in the melee.
Wow. I mean, and these combined Grenadiers, they're starting to push deep into StockX.
Here come the Cuirassiers.
But here come the Curs.
Get out of there, Exilian. Get out of there. Get out of there. He's stuck in the melee.
He's not going to let him. Phosphor's not going to let him get away.
He's got squares up. He's got squares up. Okay, they've pulled the cavalry back.
Okay.
Oh, he's got a square up. He was able to run a musketeer unit. I think right now Exilian needs to take what he has, and he needs to rest. I mean, his men are so tired. I mean, so are the French.
The men are fatigued, sir.
But his men are tired. He has superiority over here.
But these pullbacks to escape the cavalry, they come at a cost, because look at how many Russians are just being mown down in the pursuit. And these squares great against the Curs, but if the Grenadiers can get an engagement on them, it's going to be tough. And the militia continuing to hold down the line. But as much as I've been kind of praising the French here, you are seeing a lot of wavering French troops.
Yeah.
And StockX is becoming just an absolute bloodbath.
It really is. And right now the French... Oh, the shrapnel from the unicorn. Wow. Claiming many. The problem in StockX right now is, yes, they have the Grenadiers for it. But their problem is They only have grenadiers now. Their right flank is held entirely by militia and 2 units of grenadiers. They don't even have an elite unit over there. That would be so easy to push right now for the Russians. And if they've killed all of this militia, which they have, and the only thing left is grenadiers, honestly, for Russia, the best choice might just be to shoot.
Yeah.
But, oh, this is crazy so far. Looks like we have, ooh, the Russian Musketeers, the fresh reserves of the Russian Musketeers, and the Semenovsky. Oh, we have a Grenadier charge again, on the hill.
Yeah.
In fact, it was matched by the Clone Troopers Black Watch.
Yeah, but those light foot battalions, they are already so weak, and this could be a big breakthrough here for the French. They could clean up all 3 of those British units. They're being forced to run.
They're getting out of there. They're going.
Oh, this is just a full-on send from the French.
The full-on send from the French, but they've got like all of these units. They're fighting the Black Watch, the elite Scottish troops. Up on top of the hill, they're actually pulling back now, but the thing is they have reserves! They have another Highland Foot Battalion over here as well! But this is the problem now. This is the problem. The only place that they now have usable, consolidated reserves is Stockhatch, which is under severe threat from the British and Russians. But the only other place they have them is they have them in this forest on the right side of the map. Which means that if they want to start sharing reserves, if they start getting pushed on that hill or on the flatlands next to it, they're actually going to have to countermarch half of their army, which they are doing right now. Commentator's curse again. But they're having to pull back. They're having to move their troops, and they're making their left flank weaker again. We have taken a building, sorry, right flank weak again. But right now, if the British were able to somehow pull something off here, there is no reserve on the other side of the hill, only cavalry. When that cavalry dies, that cavalry is such a major threat for the coalition right now. But if they're able to get rid of it, well, if they're able to get rid of that cavalry threat, it might just be game over.
Yeah, and we also have these Grenadiers doing the exact opposite of what they want to be doing. They're engaging in a firefight with British Foot Battalion, and it's just going to bring down their effectiveness in the late game by such a degree. Yeah. And I think the British, the British have done a really nice sort of cat and mouse thing here. They've been tempting the French with a full-on engagement, but not quite allowing it. And meanwhile, that's just buying the Russians time to slowly grind down Stockach. But I don't know. I'm looking to Amish, right? Like he is going to be the linchpin of what decides the end game, because he is the one with the strongest, most unmolested force at this point in the battlefield.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, speaking of that, though, the shrapnel artillery claiming some lives over here.
Man.
Yeah, I've just got to echo what you said, because it's correct. I mean, the British have played a fantastic game so far of just playing with the French, probing them for weaknesses. And right now, like you were saying earlier about Amish having grenadiers in the line, yes, that is a major flaw in his entire attack. But the problem is, we're getting to the point now where the French don't have a reserve. Their only front line right now is those grenadiers, because they cannot match it anywhere else. I mean, this is exactly what the coalition wants. They know that the British army will not have the manpower to fight the French, but the Russians will. And so the Russians have focused on killing as many people as possible, keeping it urban, keeping it problematic for the French so they can't move. The British have brought light infantry so they can flank and probe and push and shove and escape grenadier charges as quickly as possible. I mean, they've done exactly what they wanted, and they've got their artillery placement out too. They've got spherical case, bombing the flanks of the French. Sneaky move by the French right now, actually, in the 2-point town, right side. They have snuck some militia into the back of the light infantry. But going back to my point, I mean, the British have got their artillery shooting up in diagonal lines. They are going to cause a lot of problem with it. Britain relying on their artillery and maneuver more than anything, but Russia doing kind of the opposite. They are also relying on artillery, they're unicorns, but they're also relying entirely on pinning, wrapping, and using their manpower to kill as many people as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where you wonder if just a couple of light cavalry on the part of the French team would have been really useful, because right now they just don't have any type of units that can go out and harass and be expendable and maybe try to threaten some of these artillery. Because right now the Licorns and the Shrapnel just have free reign to fire all day long because they know the Curs aren't going to leave the line, and there's just nothing to threaten them.
Yep.
It might be a case where the composition is too infantry heavy and too elite heavy, and you've kind of forgotten a really, really important element, which is those light cavalry, which you can afford to lose, but are great at keeping the enemy honest.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. Because it also removes the ability of scouting. Although admittedly in this map, they don't really need to. I think I hear another charge. Yeah, there was a little Grenadier attempt there, but Clone Trooper's on it. Very solid micro player. We also have Clone Trooper bringing up even more reserves to his left flank. Completely fresh reserves as well. Not completely fresh, but you know, they're fine. They're about to eradicate this battalion of militia. Let's see how many kills they get. No.
Our men are running, sir.
Yeah, I mean Russian musketeers. They're not going to kill anything very quickly in a firefight, but they are slowly going to achieve victory, though. What is it looking like on the far right flank? Oh, has Amish finally... Okay, it looks like Clone Trooper is finally going to engage here.
Yeah, I think Clone might have seen the maneuvering of Amish. I think he might have seen the Grenadiers kind of shifting, and he decided it might be prime time to push. The thing is now the question is, where are the reserves of the coalition? Because we know that the Russians have a lot of men because we can see them.
Right.
In fact, there's actually currently a melee in the town. One of the houses, in fact, oh, this might be a little bit of a misplay here. The French have a 64-man Grenadier unit holding on to this house. The problem
and they're racking up kills.
Yeah.
And the Kurds getting involved as well.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, they are.
Oh, that Pavlovsk is going to get destroyed. And that's a critical unit. The Russians cannot throw that away. But really look at that. Down to 125 men already. And it started 182 just a second ago, and it broke.
Oh my god. And the Cuirassiers as well. They're essentially untouched. I mean, this is, to be fair to the Russians, this is going to be a slog and a half to be able to actually get through this town. I mean, it's like entering Fort Knox. There's a line behind a line, behind a line, behind a line, behind a line.
And look at that, surging out, and the Kurds are continuing to move. Look, they're not stopping.
And we've got a Grenadier charge in the right flank as well into the light infantry. Amsh he's spotted it, he had his men ready and waiting, and he's gone for it. And Clone's only just noticed one of the light infantry shattering in the melee.
Look at that. Look at that. It rear charges a musketeer battalion, and that one's going to get broken as well. And see, this is the thing about actually pushing into the town is you are completely at France's mercy, and they're just going to use these narrow streets to trap you in these pincer moves. And that was a great bit of use from Phosphor. Yeah, he did lose about, 10, 20 cavalry there, but he broke 2 Russian infantry brigades.
Yep.
And just really, really excellent. And he's going to be able to extract the Kurs almost completely cleanly at this point as well.
Beautiful.
One of our units
it was a really smooth move. And right now we have, I mean, it's beautiful from Amsh because we don't know how many British there actually are in this left flank. And right now, he is charging them with Grenadiers and forcing squares.
Look at the strength of some of these British units. These guys have been in a firefight basically since the start of the game. They're down to 80 men, 88 here, 81 there, and the British reserves are moving up. The Black Watch, the Highland Foot Battalion, which if they're already moving up, it makes you think the British don't have much behind these guys, if anything.
I agree. The thing I have noticed though as well is I haven't seen any British cavalry. I don't know. They had a light cavalry in at the start, but I think they might have not brought much. But the Russians, however, where is the Russian cavalry? They have a heavy cavalry unit. We've not seen it yet.
What happened on the extreme right? Look at this. German Legion routing, Light Foot Battalion routing, a British Foot Battalion routing.
That was the Grenadier charge I mentioned earlier, the French right flank.
Goodness.
They wiped those units back. Now
Amish can basically push towards this shrapnel artillery, and he can just fold this British line like dominoes.
Yep.
And if the town does not fall soon, I'm really worried about the coalition position here.
Yeah. Well, the thing is though,
The
with
men are
Clone is
fatigued, sir, and
his
must
one
rest away.
fallback right now is the fact that he doesn't have anything on the left, and that's for a reason. Most of his reserves are in fact on the right. He's actually pushing the hill, and he's taking it back right now. He's breaking the last of the French reserves on that hill. All they have now is a very thin, weak line of militia, a heavy cav unit, and a couple of grenadiers, and it looks like he might actually be preparing something. Clone preemptively forming squares with everything. But see, if he...
we have another grenadier charge coming though.
Oh my gosh.
Look it on the middle.
Oh
Are they going
my
to get it to
God.
that 4 battalion? No, they threatened it. They're forcing the British to go into square.
Yeah, that was what I was saying like a second ago.
Wow.
Yeah, they're forcing
the
the
whole
squares.
British line goes into square.
I mean, it's wise because he does not want to risk that heavy cavalry being able to get in and about him. But
And these grenadiers are going to charge it. They
Oh.
charge the Highland Foot Battalion while they're in square.
oh no, oh no, we've got bad news.
Uh-oh.
I believe.
Don't tell me.
Amsh may have crashed.
No.
I
Is
mean-
that why they're all moving
Well,
forward?
hold the spacebar right now. The arrows are going in every direction.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was such a good battle, and that's the Russian hussars are behind the French. Oh no, it was so perfect.
Oh.
It was so perfect. Oh, what a shame.
That is devastating.
That is
Absolutely
We're
devastating.
gonna see what the players are thinking because we can't see the timer. The timer might have been nearly over.
Yeah. I mean, this battle has been
going.
going for some time, and it's so hard to tell what the outcome might be. In my very
Our
very
men are
noobish
running,
opinion, it's nearly 50-50.
You're correct. There's it was so close. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know where the like main British reserves are. Like obviously we weren't able to see a lot of the British reserves. But the one thing that was kind of the tide turner for me is that the French center over here, we are going to have to replay the battle, depending on what everybody says, but I think both sides are going to argue that this was a very close battle, and I'm going to have to say the same. But the French, they had this, on this hill line where they had the hill next to Stockhatch, they're weak. They had one line of infantry, then they had 3 grenadiers and a cavalry. That is weak. But it's not unstoppable. Once that militia line falls, they get shot.
Counterpoint, their right flank is extremely strong.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing though is, so if we look at it, the way obviously we do it is we calculate by LOC. LOC is kind of like what area actually matters on the map. So that left flank of the British right now is covering 2 points. So it's 2 houses. If they were to fold that back, so they were holding their 2-pointer, they would be able to consolidate their line. They would have artillery in the line with that spherical case artillery. They would also be able to basically like force the French to have to wrap around them and rotate the line, all the while putting pressure with their right flank, which is the strongest part of their line. Putting pressure on Stockhatch, helping the Russians, because if Stockhatch falls, well, it's game over for the French. If Stockhatch falls, that's 4 points.
I will say, if this ends up being a rematch, which I think it absolutely will be, honestly, I think that might be bad news for the coalition because in terms of the artillery duel, they had almost a perfect start, right? They knocked out like all of the French heavy guns in Stockhatch within a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Now imagine a world where those
One of our
12-pounders
units has
are
used
still
all its
alive at this
ammunition,
point of the game.
Oh,
That could be
so powerful.
devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, with all of these massed Russian columns in the streets, it's game over.
Do you see what the AI is doing right? Why is the AI is conga lining grenadiers in the right flank?
Yeah.
Such a shame. I mean, I was so entranced by this Russian attack. Right now, in fact, the Russians have been using their unicorns to blow up the house in Stockhatch. And the French have had to retreat out of it, because if that house blows up, everybody dies. But look at the bodies. Oh, that's Timer.
Was that Timer?
That was Timer. Oh.
Someone in the chat was saying that it was still 18 minutes left, but I don't know how he was calculating that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Wow, look at the size of these armies. 9,000.
Wow.
Okay, so this confirms our suspicions that the British went very high on quality and not on quantity. I mean, they're a third less men than either their allies or the enemy.
Yeah, exactly. And the best part as well of this is that Russia was outnumbered, which is very rare.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we should jump into their VC and see what they have to say. They might have
Yeah,
some arguments for us. You're welcome to
Go
join
ahead
us.
and do that. You're the main arbitrator. I'm gonna quick hop off, grab a little snack, grab a cup of coffee, and I'll join you guys in a bit.
Sounds like a plan. All right, see you in a moment.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Let me grab everyone. Okay, so obviously, first of all, guys, that was a really good battle. Well played. That was so much fun to watch. Was that timer at the end, or was that everybody quitting?
We still had like 20 minutes or so left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, there was a crash. Now, how are we gonna go about that? Because, in my opinion, the battle was very, very even when that happened.
I agree.
Yeah. So, are we all okay with just restarting that and seeing how it goes?
Yeah, I don't think there's any other option. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was more like,
I mean, we were winning by LOCs though. Just saying.
you were winning.
I don't think you were at the.
You were
You
winning.
were,
Technically
you
at
were
the point.
technically holding by LOC. The only
Kind of,
problem
yeah.
would be that you were defenders, so de facto you would. But if there was 20 minutes left, a lot could have happened, and we can all say, I think I would have won because of this. But either way, with it crashing with about 20 minutes left, I personally, and V agrees with me, V's co-casting if you didn't know, me and V both kind of had the same agreement of we think it was even enough that it would be fair to rematch. So we're just gonna have to do that. Is everybody able to do another rematch?
If
I can do one.
Okay, cool. And I'm guessing after
That's
that
all right,
we'll just have to schedule the match
Yeah.
for the stream.
It's
But
just gonna have to be one.
yes. Okay, well that sounds good to me. Everybody remember, please restart your games. As we don't want any crashes. You might have noticed we didn't join during deployment phases. I think we're just gonna not do that anymore. It is the finals, and it would be good to know your plans. We can know them after. We're better to start the matches and stop the crashes. So we're just gonna, once you guys are ready, just put a message in the chat and jump in.
Affirm. So since it's a rematch, nobody here should change their units, correct?
Yeah, preferably everybody.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, everybody bring the same factions and bring the same units, and that would be great.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think everybody should take like a 2-minute break, get some water, and then we'll get the lobby up.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm guessing password would just be the same, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Right, I'm gonna go and jump in my own VC. Whew. Well, that was a battle and a half. That was that was good. That was a really good battle. What does everyone else think? Also, by the way, thank you everybody. 28 people. I saw earlier we had about 30 something, which was really cool to see. Yeah. How do we know the other team isn't stream sniping? So we know the other teams aren't stream sniping because first of all, the stream is delayed. Second of all, unless they were entirely just using what I'm telling them, they can't really stream snipe just because I'm talking and then they'll have to pick up on that, but they also will have to listen to their teammate at the same time. Plus, there's so much micro that changing your entire strategy just to kind of follow what I'm saying can kind of mess that up. Also, we do just kind of trust everybody to not be cheating. And so far, it seems like that's like it's been going well. I think a lot of people realize that there's no point in trying to stream snipe. It's a little bit too difficult. Commentary is top tier, man. Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you. It did kind of feel like I was casting a sports stream there. V as well. Well, can we get an applause for him? He's doing such a good job right now. Let's see. They gotta run it back. Yeah, they do. They do. Second Battlestar catch. Yeah, I believe so. if you go back 48 minutes as of now, it's before the battle started. True, true. The problem is with how the timer works is the timer works on actual in-game time in the game. Oh, welcome back, V. I'm just explaining how the map works. Not the map, the timer. So the timer actually works on in-game time. So because the game experiences a lot of lag and stutters and has all of these problems, because of that, the in-game timer tends to actually be going a lot slower. So generally 1 hour battles turn into 1.5 hour battles where the timer ends, saying it's an hour when it's actually been longer than that because of the stuttering.
Okay.
Dan, I think this is unfair due to the coalition given Russia had a flank on the French mass. Well, the thing is, the map was chosen by the French, so they kind of gave the Russians that ability to do it. Plus, this battle has been played a lot of times by a lot of people, myself included. In fact, I fought this battle for a Pixelated Apollo video like 3 years ago. Weird Dan lore, but I was in a Pixelated Apollo video a couple of years ago on this map. And so this is it's a very good competitive map, and it causes a lot of really cool situations, as we just saw. The best part right now is the teams have kind of split apart. As I said, they're going to get some snacks, etc., get a drink. But the other thing with them as well is now they've kind of got to rethink their strategy, because right now they're going to be thinking, are the opponents going to be going to the same places, and should I go to the same places? So we're going to have to see how they work around each other and seeing what they do. I mean, that was such
I genuinely think the French strategy was a decent one. They just had some really bad luck with their artillery, just getting smoked so early. I would say the one criticism I would have is just the sheer amount of passiveness from the far right. I mean, we're talking like a good 35% of their army was just kind of being held back by a few British light battalion. And when he was massing it up, I thought he was going for something really, really big. And then they just kind of waited for 10 minutes. And I'm not sure. Maybe you can offer some deeper insight on what was happening there. Maybe it was the technical issues, but it just felt like a bit of a waste of resources while StockX was being assaulted so heavily.
Well, it's a much of muchness. It's easy to be Monday morning quarterback, is what I always say. Very American term. But essentially, hindsight is 2020. Looking at it from our perspective, where we don't have to microll our units, we don't have a teammate screaming at us that they're getting charged in 20 different places. Makes it a lot easier for us to say, I would have done this. But you are right in a lot of parts where I think that they were quite lackluster in that flank. I mean, they had so many men and they didn't use them. But at the same time, so they originally did have all of that men. That's kind of the point where I'm fair to criticize. Yes, they should have done something with them. But in my mind, the thing I'd be worried about is obviously with Britain, they're not going to have reserves. They're going to have a very strong front line, and then once their front line is killed, their game is over. But if you go up against a Britain very early on, where they might have reserves, if you go into a situation like that against a player like Clone Trooper, who is a very intelligent player, with light infantry, you can run faster than Grenadiers. So if he spots it, which he did every single time, bar one, he would just run his men back, and if he had those reserves early game, he'd be able to run his men back to his reserves, and your Grenadiers would be running into a point-blank volley from the reserves and get slaughtered. And also, by the time you get to the guys that you're charging, you're going to be tired, because your Grenadiers are, they move slower, they take longer to get there, and they're charging, which makes you go, if you're charging instead of running as well, that makes you get tired even quicker. You do run a bit faster though. But I think that was kind of what their worry might have been. I don't know if I'm just kind of making it up for them and giving them an excuse, but I would be worried about charging too early on, especially against a Breton, because going up against Breton and getting them in melee is the perfect idea, but light infantry, unless you can force it to be a proper melee engagement, they're just going to run away every time and allow you to get shot point blank by whatever reserve units they have, or maybe they counter melee, or they throw in some cav that you didn't expect. And then later on in that battle, where they kind of did have all of those men gathered, they were kind of frozen in place. You see it a lot in a lot of battles, and every player gets it. I get it. Everybody gets it, where you're in the heat of the battle and something happens and you have like a snap where you have to immediately be like, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? because at that
Yeah.
exact time, Stockhatch was under siege. I mean, the Russians had just popped out. They were meleeing across the front line. The cavalry was being used everywhere. The British were pushing up that hill, and I can only imagine Phosphor would have been shouting like, "I need some kind of support. I need some cavalry over. You've got so many grenadiers over there. Can you bring some of them over?" You know, he was getting charged on his far left flank, where and he also had to manage his own charge on the far left flank, which he did successfully over the hill and pushed the British back. There was so much to micro that I think he kind of got frozen in place with his right flank, where he was focusing so hard on moving everything else to make sure his ally was supported and his ally was, you know, okay, and Stockhatch was okay, and they weren't going to collapse, that he kind of forgot to move his right flank. And then eventually we did see him go over to that right flank. He started grabbing a couple of those reserves and he started moving them. But as well, kind of as you were saying, being so passive in that flank, when he eventually decided to move, and he did do a charge, he ended up breaking 3 or 4 infantry units of the British, which is so massive to get. And so, you know, it's much of muchness. A lot could have happened, but I personally, I put it down to he was so... he was concentrating so much on everywhere else in the battlefield that there was no time to look at the right flank. And to get to that level where you're able to micro everything at once, you either need to be a really, really damn good player who's played for a long time on the mod you're using, or you need to be like locked in crazy style. Like it is difficult to do that, especially, you know, for the people in the chat asking what mod it is and what's going on and everything. We are playing with up to 44 units of infantry. The base game is 20. So we're playing with up to 44 units each player. And as well as that, the units are larger. Each unit has their own thing, like grenadiers are better at charging, light infantry are better at moving but losing melee. You know, infantry, squares, cavalry, artillery. There's so much to think about. And so these players are playing really, really damn well. But you've got to realize that they might be playing really well, but playing really well doesn't translate to being able to control 9,000 men yourself perfectly every single time. So
yeah, it's funny because, you know, one of the things that people, and I've done it a lot in the Total War series, we always criticize the, you know, the historically inaccurate numbers, right? You know, you're playing Napoleon Total War and you're playing Waterloo, and instead of controlling 90,000 men, you're controlling 2,000. But there is, you know, as much as I don't like defending CA, there is a reason for it, and it's because these large armies, even an army that's 1/10 the size of a normal Napoleonic army, it's insanely difficult to control. And I guess it just kind of shows you that, you know, the idea of one man commanding an entire army, even someone like Napoleon, it's kind of a modern day fantasy, right? These armies were not controlled in any sense by one person. I mean, one person may have made the plan, but you needed like 20, 30, 40, 50 officers all doing their job at once. And I mean, this mod, what I love about it is it kind of shows that, and it shows how difficult a one-man command seat really is.
yeah, I mean, you're controlling a fraction of what they really would have been at the time. And you're also, I mean, at the time, they would have been doing it through, you know, letters and cavalry running to each unit. There would be a massive delay in it. And that's when you've got the whole world at your hands, so you can tell everything you move immediately. But yeah, I mean, people get very good at this. There's a lot of people that are amazing at this mod, and they're able to pull all of this crazy stuff off. And we are watching 2 teams that have proven themselves to be right at that top level. I mean, these are some really damn good players, and you can see it. Both sides where essentially 1-for-1 matching each other on the front line. I mean, it was amazing to see. That it was a fantastic battle. I mean, it gets really difficult. We do see armies like a British army, which tends to be a little bit smaller, and the advantage of that also being the micro is a lot easier if you have a smaller army than your opponent. Like for the French, I feel kind of bad for them because they have 9,000 men to control. They have a lot of militia, and so they have to, you know, put all the units in the right places, you know, etc. While the British player can just, you know, put this here, this here, this here, and then shoot them to death.
Yeah.
But I mean, but then the British micro comes with the added difficulty of you need to be so particular with every single movement, because if you lose 10 men too many, it's game over.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good.
What was your favorite part of that replay?
Oh, my favorite part of that whole thing, it's gotta be the stock hatch. It's gotta be the battle over stock hatch. That was crazy.
I think towards the end when the Polovsky's regiment was caught and then just chased out, and there was that kind of snowball effect. That was awesome. I was like zooming in on the melee fight. It was cinematic.
Have you pressed N before on your keyboard?
No, what does that do?
If you point your mouse somewhere and hold down N, it zooms in, and you can like zoom in with your scroll wheel, where it makes it more cinematic. It's really cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's so good. It's so good. But that was a fantastic battle between two great teams, and honestly, I'm kind of happy the rematch again. I really wanted to see the end of that battle, but I'm excited to see that battle again.
Yeah. Well, honestly, and not to like make a large commentary on the gaming industry as a whole, I don't know why CA can't just get a small team to go back and streamline these older games and get rid of just the things that make them so crash prone. You know, games like Napoleon and to a lesser extent, you know, Medieval 2 and Rome. Well, Rome 2 is actually pretty good. But like the gunpowder games especially, they're just, I don't know what it is about them. They are so prone to desyncs and crashes. And I can't imagine how many people would return to Napoleon if they knew, hey, the multiplayer campaigns are stable now. The multiplayer battles are stable now. The mod scene is stable now. I think it would really, really spice things up.
It would. But I actually had a conversation with the guy who's very good at the coding stuff. And he was explaining to me recently, so as much as I have a problem with CA and a lot of the stuff they've done, like getting rid of the chat and Napoleon and all of that stuff, as far as he explained to me, Napoleon's actually coded really well. I mean, it has a couple of limits, but admittedly it was because the game was made, 17 years ago? Jesus, that makes me feel old. But either way, the game was made 17 years ago. It was made at a time where they didn't have a lot of stuff. And so they've made it as well as they could, and apparently they did a damn good job at it. There's one or two things that were, you know, kind of cutting corners, but the way they explained it was, if we are able to have a mod like FCN where you have 60,000 men in the field, not even Warhammer can do that stuff like without crashing.
Oh, not even close.
Exactly. It's like we're able to really push the limits, and apparently Napoleon is one of the best coded Total War games all the way up to Warhammer. Just because, and I don't understand how, but they did try really hard. But I do think it would make a really big difference if they even did like with Rome, they did Rome Remastered. Why can't they do that with Napoleon and Empire? Do a remastered version, update it, make the graphics a bit better. You know, make the game more stable. See if this, like, we have pulled out all the stops for FCN to make it as stable as possible while still having content. If we had the ability to know that if a crash happens, it's just because we got so unlucky, and the game is made to not crash, and everything is done to not crash, and it's really like it's something that doesn't happen very often, that would be great. But unfortunately, that is just not how life works, and it's not how this game works either. And we just have to deal with crashes. It's really annoying. It's really, really fucking annoying. But until CA do something, or somebody rewrites the code of the entire game, it's just something we've got to stick with. It's an old game, we love it, but you know, sometimes that's just how life is.
Yeah, and I mean, there are workarounds to anything. Like that's what I've been trying to do with my my diplomacy series I've been working on. Is one of the big regrets I have of these old Total War games is, you know, in Warhammer you can have up to 8 players in one campaign. And the fact that, you know, these old campaigns, it just makes them look so bad in comparison. You know, the 2 players only, they're only head to head. You can't really do a co-op campaign. But, you know, like you said, the community finds workarounds no matter what. And so
They do.
FCN is just kind of a shining example of that.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're welcome.
we're kind of the best. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's,
That's your compliment for the month. So
Yes.
you won't get another one till September. Sorry about that.
God damn it. Okay, well, it sounds like the lobby is gonna get back up right now. Which
Ooh,
is
I see it.
good.
I see
You
it. I see it.
Wow, join it. You should join it. You
I'm
should join
in.
it as a player. God.
So, one question I was kind of contemplating is, are they taking the same comps?
Yes. So the agreement
Okay.
is that both sides they did actually. So the Imperial side argued that they did own the LOC, and then I argued that they were the defenders. So obviously they were.
Yep.
But it seemed like the general consensus was yes, it was very even. There was about 20 minutes left in the clock, and so it was fair to restart. So the armies are going to be the exact same. The factions are going to be the exact same, and the deployments are going to be the exact same. And we're just gonna have to see how it plays out from there.
Well, what if you had we've said multiple times it was basically even, but what if you had to make a ruling on that game?
You're pushing me here. You're pushing me.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
Chris and Tom in our little chat, I think Chris was definitely arguing that it was a coalition win, which
Yeah.
I see the argument for. I really, really do.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that as much as it was a coalition win, it was also a French win. So in my mind, how that battle would have played out if I was in it, which is generally how I do most things. If I was playing as the coalition, the way that I would win is what they were doing, where the Russians just continued to batter and batter and batter and batter and batter Stockage until they pushed through it. And they were wrapping them, and they had cavalry behind them. They had hussars. God knows where their heavy cavalry was. I mean, their heavy cavalry would die because the Cressida Reserve were there. But they had cav behind them. They had a threat behind them. The French were at danger of kind of being encircled. Whereas the British and Russians were consolidated. They were pushing Stockage. They had men. They could have fallen back as well. They had points that were kind of unnecessary. And oh my god, we're already in. They had points that were kind of unnecessary. So they had good fallback lines. The problem is the French still had heavy cav. They still had all of those grenadiers in the towns. They still had, the biggest thing was Amish had that enormous grenadier flank on the left side of the coalition, right side of the French. I mean, it was only a matter of time until that got used and put to use to slam through whatever the British had. And so the British would have to play a game of retreat where they have to just keep falling back without letting those grenadiers reach Stockage. Because if that grenadier reinforcement reached Stockage, I mean, the entirety of Amish's grenadier corps there, I don't think the Russians are going to hold that. No unicorn in the world is strong enough to kill that. So it would be. It was really it was close enough that if I had to, what I would have done is I would have done what I did with Bertanki. So Tom and Chris's match that ended on the timer, that was like 1-to-1 levels of close. I would have to go in on the replay, or I'd have to take a screenshot of the map, whatever, and I would have to go through every single individual unit, see who's tired, see who's very tired, see who's fresh, how many men are in this unit, where everyone's moving. I'd speak to the players, see where they were gonna go. It's really hard to adjudicate these things unless there's a clear answer, which is partly why LOC exists, is to give you a clear answer. But LOC might give you a clear answer some of the times, but sometimes the games just get so close that even with LOC it gets really hard to tell what's gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, it's who would you say?
So I had it bagged, in my expert opinion. I had it bagged as a French win until I saw the middle break. And that was right as the game was crashing. I mean, you were seeing I think it was 3 battalions of militia were all breaking. That would have severed Amish from immediately getting to Stockach. And while he still probably would have gotten there, the fact that Phosphor would have been completely encircled at that point makes me think that just I don't know. Situationally, I would maybe give it a very, very slim edge to the coalition. But I mean, that's all speculation because in 20 minutes, my thing is in 20 minutes, how much can Amish do? How much can he accomplish? You know, how much of that time is just going to be spent getting to Stockhatch, chasing British light infantry, and by the time the timer's up, are his troops actually in the city effectively? I don't know.
And it would also be down to what can the Russians and British do with Phosphor encircled. I mean, Phosphor might be able to hold that. You don't know. I mean, it's the thing you did say though that I do agree with is with the center breaking like that, even before the crash, whether they liked it or not, that center was going to die because it was essentially French like militia with a little bit of a grenadier reserve and cavalry against the entire fresh core of British. I mean, the British had their Highland Foot, which are their melee troops, and they had
the Black Watch.
Yeah, they had like Black Watch, which are like elites as well. Like they had really, really solid units that were almost full strength that were fresh at the top of that hill against weak militia and a couple of grenadiers. I mean, you would have to be the best player in the world to be able to turn that around. And like we saw, it took a matter of a minute and a half or two to be able to break that line. And the British did that. They broke the line. And so what I think the British were going to do was I think that they were going to... I think they were already doing it, actually, if my memory is correct. But all they were going to do is they were going to break that line, take the hill, set up a defensive line on the hill, help the Russians push into Stockhatch, kind of threaten it a bit. And then the most important, you know, I don't know what that would... Like, the final touch of that would have been sliding that 9-pound spherical case on top of that hill and making that a kill zone for the entire map. Because... I mean, it would be 9-pound canister, which is already, you know, canister is canister, it hurts. But it's shrapnel artillery where the best use of it is to be able to fire diagonally. If you have it on a hill, it's like 1,000,000 times more effective, and you'd be shooting into the backs of the French. The French would be in so much danger from those guns. Plus, it'd be able to shoot. It'd be able to shoot Amish as well while Amish was moving, and Amish would be against 2 guns, both on hills. Yeah. You know, that's kind of what turns it a little bit for me as well for the coalition is they just had the positioning, and the French were. That is one of the things I don't like personally is not having spread reserves. I get why you would reinforce a certain area like that, but if you're on the defensive as the French are, in my mind, I don't see much of a reason to fill one side of your flank with everything that's good and then have a couple dotted around the rest of your line, unless from the minute one you are advancing with it. If you're just going to be defending like he was and slowly siphoning units off to send to Stockhatch, why not just have your reserves across your entire line, but have a slightly stronger reserve at Stockhatch where you're peeling off to go? So rather than having a 10-minute walk, you have a 2-minute walk,
Right.
But, every player does their own thing, and I can have that opinion and be completely incorrect. So, we're going to see.
Just you gave that long soliloquy and then at the end said, yeah, but I'm probably wrong.
I mean, yeah, everyone does it differently. The best thing I've seen in this entire tournament is just how different people play. I mean, I play very specifically myself. I have a very routine to kind of how I play. I like to group my men in 4s, as other people actually tend to do. I think Phosphor does that too. I like to group my men in 4s. I like to have my cavalry in certain places. I have a lot of rules that go through my mind when I'm doing things. I have like a checklist in my brain. And so watching a lot of these players, you realize just how different everybody is. I mean, Taskforce Jackal are like... it's like they're almost robotic in how they play. They have identical armies. This is the second time they've played. They're going to the same place. They play very similarly to each other, and I think that works really well for them. Is because instead of fighting 2 players, you're going up against 1 player that is the ability to control 2 armies.
I'm already noticing that these guys are already being like this. I feel like this battle is going to progress much more quickly. Oh, yeah. Like there is no doubt in their minds as to where they're going. The men are moving with absolute certainty. And I'm just going to make a prediction here. This is not me saying who I want to win, but I think the French are going to do even better this game.
Okay.
Simply because I think they're just going to have better luck with their artillery. They're absolutely not going to let it get sniped by British dragoons. And, maybe they get better luck with the Licorns. The Licorns were insanely accurate last game. And they were doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But I think that extra bit of firepower, if the 12-pounders don't get knocked out right away, and if they're deployed maybe in a bit of a safer spot, maybe not as, powerful, but a bit safer, I think just that little bit of firepower might be what France needs to do, to hold out even better than they already did. And they held out very well the first game.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, I'm noticing immediately that the Phosphor's army, I don't know if he's just not moved them yet. I think that's an intentional placement. One gun is actually facing forwards on the hill, by the way. Perfect placing. Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, it's in a lovely defilade. It's looking down at the British. And it's also that is going to be such a major threat for Clone playing as the British.
Look at that. He's not even bringing a gun to Stockhatch.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Exactly. He's got one gun in the back line looking over the flatlands, and he's got one gun on the hill that's going to be covering the front. Basically, setting both artillery pieces to look forwards at the British. It's obvious where the enemy is.
And that is such a smart move because that was the part of the battlefield that was very static. And that's a place where the 12-pounders can just sit and not have to constantly redeploy and move. And they're really going to force the British light infantry to play honest. They can't move in, harass them at close range, and move out. They're going to have to keep an eye on those 12-pounders. So that's already a really good adaptation from Phosphor. And that's what's going to win this game, right? It's no longer about whose composition is better because everybody knows what everybody else brought. It's going to be who adapts better and more quickly.
Exactly. It's fully going to be it's going to be the adaptation game. In fact, we've got a British light cavalry already being spotted. They're going to have to be careful though with the cuirassiers that are rolling up on them. Noticeably.
Oh yeah, that was the cannon sniper last game.
I was about to say, have you noticed something? Oh, they got caught. I was about to say, there was a Russian cavalry unit we hadn't accounted for yet. It just died in a square. But
what?
The Cossack Lancers, they came back. We forgot had them.
That is a huge. We talked about. So that is the one thing that was the same. Is each game the French won a really nice early cavalry engagement. To clear off a Lancer this quickly at the cost of what? 17 militia?
Yeah, I mean it was not a good trade for the Russians at all. But at least they didn't lose the cavalry this time.
Look at this. He's even extending his line into the hills outside of Stockhatch. Was he out that far the first game, Phosphor?
No, he was not. I think I know what they're doing. So obviously they've got the militia the exact same as before, where they're using their militia as a delaying force to kind of see where the British are going to be. I mean, one of their 12-pounders right now it's not able to shoot at the right, but to be fair, that's better than last time where neither of them could.
These curs are going moon hunting. Look at them.
Oh my god.
They're not going to stop. Which, I mean, honestly, I like this. Yeah, I like this more proactive use of the curs because either the Dragoons are going to get caught eventually or the French are going to start getting into the back lines and forcing some of the reserves to peel off, or maybe they even find that shrapnel battery. I know that's a pipe dream, but the curs know it's back there somewhere. And since they now kind of have a barometer of how long Stockhatch can hold out, I think they're willing to...
There's a big threat
What is
here.
it?
There's a big threat here. Clone troopers walking some light dragoons in between the French.
Oh.
There's 2 artillery pieces he could go for here. There's a 12-pounder over here on the hill, and he's got the 12-pounder with the grenadiers behind it.
Oh man, that 12-pounder on the hill is... Well, I mean, that one 12-pounder is pretty well defended by the grenadiers, but...
Yeah, the one on the hill on the right of the light dragoons, that's the one that's in real danger right now.
Oh, he's advancing. I wonder, is he like trying to act nonchalant and then he's just going to peel that guy off?
I think so.
He might.
There has been a mistake by Amsh, though. Oh, the light infantry going for a charge. What the f...
What?
Whoa!
Holy aggressive.
I mean, the thing is, the only reserves that have just rolled up by Amsh are all very tired.
But look at this quick reaction from the French.
Our men
Amish
are
sending
running,
his
sir.
200 strong Cuirassier de
Oh,
Reserve.
no.
If he can get these guys pinned down, this could be big. He's got Grenadiers to pin him down.
Where are the
And
light
so
dragoons going?
British-
Where are the light
Oh,
dragoons going? The light dragoons
no.
have
Oh,
went
no.
right past the artillery.
What the? Is this a misclick? This might be a miss micro here from Clone Trooper. Where is this guy going?
Is
he
he
just
just
walked
close-
right through the French
He just
line.
went straight through them. Okay, fair enough, I suppose. Where is he
And
going?
look at wow. And let's also point out the fact that the Russians, I mean, I feel like they're approaching even more slowly than the last game.
Yeah, I mean, the French have actually pushed, like, they've pushed pretty far. I mean, it looks like they have
Wow.
even less reserves in Stockage than before. They're going for the flanks of Stockage.
Oh, the British Dragoons are on the move.
Where are they going?
Where are they going?
Oh, they're going for the general, I think.
No way.
Yeah, they're never going to get that. They're never going to get that, ever. If I was Clone, I would turn that cavalry... Oh, well, it's disappeared now. Okay, that's kind of... That's threatening. If I was Clone right now, I would have went for those guns. I mean, preferably this one. This one's the biggest threat. I'd say this one. You can't see a V. The one on the hill that has been fought over a lot. Oh, no! They did just shoot their own grenadiers with it. But the artillery on the hill that was fought over between the British and French for a long
Our men
time,
are running, sir.
that was such an important position to take that by just planting a 12-pounder on it, that is going to be a major threat.
Yeah.
So they need to get rid
Well,
of
the
that.
British being far more aggressive with their infantry this time. They're not prodding at all. And I can't tell who's made the bigger adaptation. The French, who have spread out their lines so much farther than originally, or the British, who are making this much more aggressive push. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the Russians are planning. Maybe they're just waiting for a full engagement before they burst out of the woods and just ooga booga their way into Stockach. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. There is one thing, actually. Oh, canister. Not killing anybody, it's out of range. I've noticed something about Stockach. There's a sincere lack of artillery there. Oh, the British spherical case. Good shots.
But speaking of artillery, look at this. 2 12-pounders moving up from Amish, and they're going to plant themselves right on the line against the British. And so the British are going to have to fight against 3 12-pound batteries.
4 12-pound batteries.
Oh, no.
Our men are running,
Yeah, they've got... Oh, someone's running somewhere. Where?
Also, those Dragoons are still just messing around in the back line. That's...
Yeah. Oh, that's who's running the artillery! The artillery! The 12-pounder got hit by the shrapnel artillery! Oh my god!
Oh, no.
Oh, and
so we've
here
lost
come
the 12-pounder?
The light dragoons, yeah, the light dragoons were coming in to clean up, but there's no point anymore. They're already dead.
Well, they might. Hold on, they might.
Oh, well, they're definitely
no.
not now.
Oh, God.
They got evaporated by the artillery. Yeah, shrapnel artillery is an incredible anti-gun.
These Dragoons, though, are they going to be able to get out?
No, he's going to have to weasel his way. Yeah.
They're dead.
I mean, it was a nice move. It did cause a little bit of problems for them. I mean, right now, I imagine the spherical case artillery is all pointing at that 12-pounder. And it's going to do some serious damage when they hit. They're even better than unicorns, in my opinion. They are some dangerous artillery.
Yeah. But here we're seeing another huge mass for Amish on the right flank, but I feel like this is going to be a much more proactive push. I don't think there's going to be any waiting from Amish here. He knows where the main British threat is, and so he is going to be immediately streaming down so he can be in Stockach much earlier than the first battle.
Yeah, we have already got a charge in the woods. It is like we're watching the exact same game as before. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
The militia is terrible. Wow, the militia just did like a point-blank volley.
Our men are
10
running,
men.
sir.
Here come the
But I mean,
grenadiers.
this is an interesting adaptation from France. He's basically saying, look, you're not going to get the woods for free. I'm actually gonna make you shed some blood for it this time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm gonna make the approach to Stockhatch even more costly for you.
Yeah. To be
And
fair,
maybe
they're
they're-
pulling out now with the Grenadiers. Before they just kind of charged in with the Grenadiers and let them die.
Yeah.
Oh, dangerous.
I don't know, maybe
walking in the front line.
This could be because they've now seen the army sizes, and maybe they think, okay, well, you know, we outnumber both armies, won by a significant margin. We have some troops to spend here. Let's be a little bit more aggressive, try to get some better charges. But
oh, here's the lifeguard Cuirassier again. So the Russians definitely do have a heavy cab unit, but they're keeping it secret.
is this Dragoon unit gonna make it
Oh
back?
no, they're so unlucky. They just lost another artillery.
Oh,
It got hit by the shrapnel artillery again. It was mid unlimber and the horses got hit and they lost the gun because of it.
just destroys my one solid prediction for this game. Oh well.
I mean, it's so the British and Russians have brought two very. Oh my God, the.
Or the lifeguard gonna catch? Are the lifeguard gonna catch this grenadier?
Oh, they
I
probably
think they are. Woo!
Yep, they have.
Yikes. This is
This is
I don't know.
dangerous.
I
Our
said
men are
that France
running
was going to be in a much better position, but so far, it's not looking great
I've
for,
got to be
for
honest.
the French team.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. The coalition seems to be in a better position right now. Stockhatch is less defended than before. There is zero artillery presence anywhere on the left side of the French. Now, one of the biggest things I say is whoever moves their guns the most generally tends to win the battle, because whoever can utilize the canister always does well with it. The problem is now, I think that might have been part of the French plan. I think the French plan was realizing that the British were a big threat, and they didn't end up using their artillery against the Russians originally.
Bad move, though. Look at this. The lifeguard did charge a square of militia.
Oh, no.
It's going to lead to some pretty unnecessary losses there. And those lifeguard, you need to conserve those as much as possible.
Especially
Even the light
against-
dragoons trying to get involved.
Especially against a French army that has so much heavy cavalry, where they're going to be relying on charges. Heavy cavalry is the counter to charges. Yeah, I mean, I really like the... It's actually funny, we're seeing the light dragoons firing from horseback at the militia. That's so rare to see. But yeah, what I was saying is that I quite like what the French did with their guns by putting all of them against the British, because it makes sense. I mean, last time they put 2 guns against the Russians. Both of them got killed by unicorns immediately, and they were just like they were just craters everywhere, because you could tell the Russians were aiming for them. So why put more guns there again if they're just gonna get nuked? The problem is that even though they were thinking like that, oh my God, this completely surrounding the forest. Even though they're thinking like that, and they are, it's smart, it's the right thinking. They're fully aware that it's not gonna work for them to put all of their artillery in the same place. They've got to move it. The British shrapnel artillery is just that strong at counter battery that they've already got rid of that advantage. They've killed. I think there's an extra gun somewhere that we've not seen yet from the French. We have a 12-pounder there. Yeah, we've got 3 on that left side, and we had 1 in the hill. 1 gun's already dead in the hill. Another one is currently getting shot at. They've already lost a gun in another. I don't know. I mean, are they...
Though
They're kind of just leaving the Russians open to unicorn whatever they want now that they don't have a target.
the one thing I will say, though, is that the commitment to shooting
men
down the
are
French
running,
artillery has meant that the actual manpower losses for the French have been pretty minimal in terms of how much they've taken from the artillery. And so, I don't know, maybe that's sort of a silver lining. It just seems to me like the French were a little bit too gung-ho. And I know militia are supposed to be expendable, but that almost felt like they were kind of throwing them away in that forest.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a brazen move from TFJ. Phosphor unlimbering his 12-pounder. Limbering his 12-pounder in the face of artillery. And one of the shots just blew up in my face. Oh my God. That is dangerous. If that gun gets hit by those shrapnel artillery, it is game for them. Oh my God.
And I wonder where he's attempting to redeploy that.
I would
if
imagine
anywhere.
he's going to try and shift them towards Stockhatch, because they already have so much artillery in this right side that they do not need a hero. Yeah, immediately we see the line. He is moving it to Stockhatch. So
Yeah.
will the British be able to kill it in time?
And at the same time, why there's one part of the battlefield we haven't really looked at. If you look to the far left French flank,
Yes.
he's got a decent amount of militia here, but he's also got 3 grenadiers all piled up here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is to make some sort of push towards the Russian, the Unicorn or what. But it seems a bit odd that many French units are stacked on such a far side of the map.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think it might be some attempt to just keep their flanks safe, because they're aware that the Russians have more men, and the Russians are going to go in for a melee and stockage 100%, and they have the ability to keep ferrying reserves, because I mean they did that last time. They had so many reserves they could just shove in.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is they're either one, shutting the Russians out from being able to envelop them, just wrap around them, because they will just do that if they can. Because they started doing it earlier. In fact, they're actually currently advancing in the town now. But they're trying to stop them from being enveloped. But also, I suppose it's kind of a double-edged sword. It means that if the Russians are pushing extremely heavily on stockage, to the point where they're kind of losing a lot of men, but they're kind of killing a lot. You know, you get the idea.
I
pushing.
think that heavy push might be coming soon.
I
Look at
think it's
this.
coming
3
now.
musketeers. He's already brought out the Lithuanian Guard and the combined grenadiers. Got a volley off. Did some decent. Well, actually did quite a bit of damage to that militia.
Yeah, but I think if they see a point where the Russians are pushing too heavily, some would say, on the town, it gives them an ability to flank. Which I like, because honestly, this town will last a long time. It's basically impervious to artillery, and also it will require you to go one at a time through the narrow streets against grenadiers. It's exactly what the French want. So it's going to be very dangerous to see, especially now that we have a 12-pounder coming to assist them. Although, have they just given a new target for the Unicorns?
Yeah, hard to say. I'm surprised that Amish has once again taken up such a strong position on the far right. I thought for sure he would disperse those men more, like you had said, in the in-between. But maybe he feels like he was on the verge of executing a master plan last game and he didn't quite get the chance to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, we see huge amount of grenadiers. I mean, a double line of reserve grenadiers, a line of militia. All the heavy cav, the general, another couple batches of grenadiers. Just not sure why you need that much force in that area of the battlefield.
Yeah. And it's arguably even worse than last time as well by having... Oh, that was a bit loud. It's arguably even worse than last time by having 2 artillery pieces there as well, like side to side. I mean, it's very heavily overpowering a flank. But what happens if the British just don't push?
Yeah.
I mean, if the British are smart here, they will push fully on that hilltop, which is exactly what they're doing. They're going to push on that hilltop and just try and shove over it. Because if they do that, they cut off the high ground and also the reserves of the French. All the while, right now, they are just destroying the artillery on this side. I mean, they have, what? They have 2 full-strength guns left, and they have 1 that's half-strength. I mean... Oh, and actually we're seeing another spherical case which has been walked around, setting up in stockage. Oh my god, and it's got such a great view on the back of the hill. It's going to be able to kill, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 infantry units that are back to back. It is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ranks deep on that hill.
Wow.
Holy
That is a
shit.
serene position.
Oh my god, yeah, that is primo right there.
Yeah.
Get the guns on it. The Unicorns are focusing on blowing up this right side. I think the Russians might go for a push on the right.
It's possible. I'm just not exactly sure what the French plan is. You know, the adaptation that they made at the start of the battle that we pointed out was just this far wider deployment and not making stockage as clumped up as last battle. But I'm not really seeing the immediate effects of that. Maybe it's more of a long-term play, but it's just kind of seeding all of the good ground for the coalition to set up some really nice artillery batteries.
Yeah, I've got to say personally, I was a bigger fan of their last deployment. Well, the thing, I was a bigger fan of their last deployment in some places, and I'm a fan of this one in some places. I really like kind of what's going on in Stockage because they're aware that they can't fit everything in there. What I don't like is the fact that they have like 10 ranks of men side by side over here. Yes, they're trying to stop any artillery, and yes, they're trying to have some kind of usable reserve for everywhere, but it's just too much of an artillery target, and the overshot is going to be ridiculous.
I will say one mistake that I'm seeing from the Russians is we're seeing a lot of volleys just being fired basically at the buildings of Stockage.
Yeah.
And we're still seeing British light infantry trying to go muzzle to muzzle with militia. And the militia on the hill, I honestly think they're getting the better trade with this foot battalion.
I mean, those militia units, oh, we have a charge. Oh, we have a heavy cav charge, actually, on the light infantry.
Oh.
Yeah, that
And they've already broken.
Yeah, they broke. So, oh, we have some Russian, oh my god, we have Russian grenadiers in the hill. Oh my god, and we have a unicorn blow up in the middle of 2 grenadier units. Holy shit! Yeah, okay, yeah, so we have some combined grenadiers on the hill with the Blackwatch. It looks like they're going to be making a play for the hill. They're going for Stockage, but they've realized that hill is such a strong position. They can cut off the allies. Oh my god.
But the question is, diverting resources to that hill to help the British, the one bad thing about that is it brings you much closer to the other half of the French army. And so now, instead of, you know, the Amish's force just picking off some isolated stragglers, he's going to be able to much more quickly get his guys in force fresh against those Russian forces. And it's also going to make the push into Stockage even weaker than the last time. And last time, I'm not even convinced that they were successfully getting in.
Yeah. Oh my god! Did you just see that spherical kick shot?
No, I'm guessing it killed it.
Look at the back of the hill.
Oh no!
They just killed like a solid segment. Like they're just unicorns if they were round shot. What fuck? What shot? Yeah, this artillery position is ridiculous right now. Oh my god! Even more men dying now. Yeah. So this is what I'm really not liking about the French right now is they are far too complacent. I mean, we're looking at it right now. Look at what's happening. The British and Russians are having a combined assault on Stockage and the French side. The French are very slowly, their flanks are the only things doing anything right now. Both the joint between Phosphor and Amish are currently the only fighting force in their army, whereas the Russians and the British have grouped together in the same place. They're combining their grenadiers, they know the important points, and they're threatening them. And they've also put all of there's one British gun right now, the only gun in the entirety of the map that isn't currently shooting at artillery. Like, they have one spherical case shooting at artillery for counter battery. The rest of their artillery is decimating the French troops in this hill. They're getting destroyed by the artillery. We can see it. The unicorns and the spherical case firing in the exact same place.
Look at this light foot battalion. What's he doing? This might be a missed micro here. That light foot battalion. Yeah, he sees it. He goes, crap, get out.
Oh, the
no, he's not
going to
catch
him.
Oh, that's a nice catch for the French, though.
Yep, good job from the French. However, there was one thing I caught that I'm not sure anyone else did. There is a British Hussar that's in their back line, and we don't know where. Yep.
Oh, no. The one thing I'll also say for the French, though, is they are conserving their heavy cav much more than they did last game.
Yep.
And I wonder if that's because they just really want to make that even more powerful towards the end when the militia are starting to get worn down. Wow, there are just so many British units that are point blank with militia, and I really don't understand the strategy of that. Maybe they're just trying to pressure the hill more, but even the Highland Foot Battalion has lost about 50-something men at this point, and you know, getting those lights caught out, like you said earlier, wow, they lost the German Legion Light Battalion getting routed as well.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, the British, yes, they're easier to micro because it's less units, but you can't afford to lose these guys, not in charges like that.
Especially in charges like that, yeah. I mean, you've got it perfectly. That light infantry is so expensive. That's like a 400 gold light infantry unit. They're really good, but you need to be careful with them. I mean, we're seeing the Russians push in now with some grenadiers. The only thing I will have to say so far is that the French are looking a little bit weaker than last time in the actual area of Stockage. But to be fair, where are they going to go? Oh, we have a grenadier charge over the hill.
Beautiful. Did you see the militia walked up point blank to the Highland Foot Battalion, and militia, one volley, killed 20 Highland Foot Battalion.
Wow.
Whoa, and here's the heavy battalion cuirassiers charging down the hill.
Oh,
and it looks
are
like
they going to catch them? Are they going to catch them?
Oh,
I don't know.
I like this. I like this by the French. They are refusing to sit on the hill and get shot to pieces.
Oh, they might lose a
demanding
cuirassier unit
engagement.
here, though. French needs to be
I
so
don't know.
careful.
There's enough infantry support that they might be able to hold it off, and they still got a decent amount of kills in that foot battalion, more than the foot battalion got on them. And now the Grenadiers charging a British square, and look at this! The British line, all of a sudden, it's not looking great, even
really
with
hasn't.
the support of the Grenadiers.
Oh wow! And the pressure. I mean, this feels like a 1-to-1 what happened last time. This is exactly what they did. And here come the
honestly, this might be the secret genius of the French strategy, because by deploying so far out to the left here with militia, look what he's done. He's forced these Russian musketeer battalions, way more valuable units, to match that. And it means that the attack on Stockau, compared to last time, it's pretty impotent, honestly. Just a few musketeer battalions, but that's not something that Phosphor is going to be that intimidated by.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Phosphor's going to be intimidated by it at all. I mean, right now,
Wow,
he has a
look at the British line, Dan! Look at the British
This
line!
is crazy.
Another foot battalion caught by the Grenadiers!
I mean, that Grenadier unit is going to lose. In fact, they've realized that they've pulled back, but oh my god.
They're being driven to the foot of the shrapnel artillery, and oh my god.
They need to be so careful though right now. This might be a little bit of an overextension. I mean, the French did such a great job, but their units are tired. They're very tired.
But okay, I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to be critical here, but if you're Amish, is this not the perfect time to move from your position? What's the holdup here?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the only holdup I would say right now is the fact that he is microing a lot of stuff. I mean, he's just... Oh no, Exilian! There's Cuirassier fighting the combined Grenadiers! Oh no! Oh, this couldn't be going worse. Oh, and the light dragoons are shooting him in the back! Oh no!
But honestly, I mean, the combined Grenadiers, they're taking losses as well. They're at about a third. Grenadiers now getting involved from the French side as well. Maybe he's saying, okay, it's worth it. We have the momentum. And he's still catching. Look at this. He's got the Highland Foot Brigade in square with Grenadiers. He's got another one about to get caught. The Black Watch here.
Oh, the general, the general. Move your general, Claude! Claude, your general! Okay.
He broke it.
Oh,
he broke the combined Grenadier battalion, and the Cuirassiers get out with 66 men.
They lost.
Wow.
34 men lost for all that. It's ridiculous. But now here come the British. Here's the counterattack.
Yeah,
the Cuirassiers are getting pulled back in. The Cuirassiers are very tired. This is the most important thing right here. How does he manage the Cuirassiers? Cuirassiers are very tired. They can lose to infantry at this point.
Is the Highland Foot... No, the Highland Foot Brigade is not about to break, but... Oh, man, the Duke of Wellington is dangerously close right now.
In fact, he's walking even further forward. Amsh is moving the Cuirassiers in. He sees him.
Yeah, he does.
Is he going to notice?
Oh, is he going to...
He notices. He notices. Oh my god,
but I don't think it's going to be enough. He catches him. He's got him tagged.
He's got him.
He might not be able to stop him. Oh, he's got him.
He's got him.
The Duke.
Oh, but he gets caught in the British. Wellington.
But that's okay because he's going to be able to help out and kill the Highland Foot Battalion.
We've taken a building.
Oh my god.
Look at what this has done. It's allowed Amish to bring up militia, and now he's just going to get even more point-blank volleys on the British. And the Russians spreading out as they have. Look at this. Look at the flank for the Russians. They've fully engaged.
Oh my god, yeah, they have. And they've got their heavy cav there as well. Their infantry breaking in the militia, unfortunately, for the Russians. But they've got the heavy cav there for the Inspire. Crassier is falling back. They realize it's not worth it. But in that melee, they broke 2 British units. Oh my god.
But this is fine. This is so fine. Even counting for the losses of the Russians, I mean, now,
Our
like,
men are running,
Amish, dude, move in. Come on. Like, seize the day.
Yeah, carpe diem.
I really don't know. I really don't know. It seems like the plan is just, you know, I guess I shouldn't be too harsh on him because he does have a lot of these militia engaged. Yeah. And he might prove to be a genius in the end because he's just going to bring all these grenadiers down with 10 minutes to go. And he's just going to swat everything away.
Cav.
Where?
We've got Her Majesty's Lifeguard Crassier killing some grenadiers. The attack on the right flank by the Russians not working out. I mean, all of their infantry broke, but they have got the heavy cavalry in melee with the grenadiers. In fact, doing a lot of damage to them, but they need to get out of there. The Young Guard are point blank with them. If they shoot, oh, they're charging them. What the hell? They're charging the heavy cav with the Young Guard.
But if the Lifeguard are driven off at the cost of 1 grenadier, that is a beautiful trade for Phosphor.
No,
and
the problem here is the Young Guard. That's their elites. That's the only elite they have in this flank. If that elite breaks, then they're forced to use either their heavy cavalry or their general to protect the entire flank. But the Young Guard drive them off.
That was still a good engagement for the Russians. You have to argue that it was.
We have another,
or they're going to get in the square.
We have another charge. We have another charge. Charge on the hill. We have 3 Grenadier units against 1 Blackwatch square. We've got light infantry moving up. Oh my god.
Yeah,
we have a 12 pounder as well.
There's
a 12 pounder behind the hill now that's been set up for canister. Now there's no artillery on the left side.
The British army is just being infested by grenadiers.
The Unicorns just hit another unit of artillery.
Oh no. But look at this.
The Grenadiers are pushing too hard. The Blackwatch might hold. I don't know.
Are they? Are they? The Cuirassiers are coming to join in.
The Blackwatch, the morale goes up. The morale goes up. He's charging at the light infantry.
I don't know, man. To me, this is excellent for France because think about how much they're wearing down the British army, and when Amish sweeps south, which I hope he does soon, I mean, what's going to be left for Britain to hold him off?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the problem right now, actually, for the British is the fact that he is getting canistered by a 12-pounder and hasn't moved yet.
Wait, why did the Lifeguards take so much damage? They're down to 58 men.
They were in melee with 2 Grenadier units and also the Young Guard of the French. To be fair, they killed a lot more than they took. And to be honest, killing that Young Guard unit would have been perfect for them. Because if your entire army is militia, you need the Inspire.
Yeah, I mean, but some of these Musketeer battalions, they kind of got taken behind the woodshed there on the hill.
100%. They got slapped in that melee, even just by the militia. The militia themselves handling themselves great.
Yeah. The Russians are pushing into Stockhatch now, but they don't really have any scary units. They've got 1 combined Grenadier battalion. They've still got never mind. They've got the Pavlovsk's Grenadiers. Man, I don't know what the French did in their little council of war beforehand. I think it might have been something like target the British as much as possible.
Putting every gun against the British is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my.
But it does seem like the line is stabilized. Just as I say that, a British foot battalion routes, but it does seem like the British line is stabilized a bit.
Yeah. Oh, we do have some steps into the town though. Oh my god. We have some units breaking. The Russians have stepped in and they're charging grenadiers that are the French grenadiers in the town. Currently in melee, we have another militia unit in square, the 12-pounder, by the way. Like I said earlier, oh my god, even more important, the hell just broke. The 3 units of militia just broke. They're having to rotate the next units of militia. They've only got a couple of units there. Oh, this is a big charge in the town. This is going to be the big melee. They're bringing Cav, though. Yeah, the Cuirassier, 76 men coming in.
Yeah. But the Grenadiers for the French are holding well. They've driven off a couple of Musketeer battalions.
Really well. Where is the
this
Russian
street
general?
fighting?
One of our
This
units
street
has
fighting
used
is
all its
really
ammunition,
where
sir.
the French Grenadiers excel.
Yeah. Someone just ran out of ammo somewhere? Already? That is quick.
And so as the lines stabilize here, before we're thrown into our next bit of chaos, Dan, I mean, at this point, I feel like the French are, you know, we were skeptical. We absolutely were, me more than you.
sure,
But
yeah.
I think the French, I think their position is better than it was last game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think their positioning is better, but there is some major flaws right now, which is that last time they had this big, they had the, first of all, Amish Grenadier Corps again, and also the Cuirassier de Reserve, completely untouched. Half of his army is on the right side being guarded by 2 British light infantry. And however, like, on the opposite flank, so before what it was is Stockage had 1 trillion men in it. The hill next to Stockage had even more. And then we had the gigantic amount of French on the right flank. The problem right now is not only do we have that gigantic reserve on that right flank by the French, we have also the same on the left flank of the French. And so Stockhatch and the hill in the middle actually have less support than before. They have less support than we thought originally, and that is coming to fruition right now. Because if we look at the hill, the British have more men there, and right now the only thing holding them off is the British. The British are fighting militia.
Have you seen these 12-pounders on the left for France? They've been targeted by the Unicorn. They haven't been hit yet. And look at how many French units are just massed up in column. This round shot is doing a number on these guys.
Oh, 100% it is. Oh, another shot coming in. Looks like the British actually moved. No, I think that's the same strat north. Never mind. Ignore me. But there is a... I mean, this is such a back and forward on the hill. They're bringing the cavalry in again. Cuirassier down to 57 men. But, like, right now, I don't know. This hill, I've got to give it to the British. I think the British are winning the hill. And if whoever takes this hill takes the battle, it's such an important position.
Oh, look at this. The Grenadiers coming out of the woods, charging the Black Watch. Are they going to get them? No, the Black Watch.
Black Watch get away. And the Black Watch, they break a battalion of militia as they run past.
Lone Troopers micro is just insane. Like, got to take a minute to shout that out. Wow.
He's always looking everywhere. Here comes the Cuirassier once again, threatening to take over in the charge, but Lone Trooper is immediately in squares already. The problem now is the left side of that hill, or the right side of that hill for the French. Look how weak it is. It's got 3 units of militia, all of them in square. The only thing holding them together is that battalion de Cuirassier, and it just lost a bunch of men. It could break even. We have the Grenadiers charging in.
The problem is that the success of the British is not being mirrored by the Russians. Look at this. Their advance into Stockhatch is basically stopped altogether. You have to wonder how much militia or how much ammunition some of these musketeers even have left. And honestly, with the Cuirassier and the supporting 12-pounder fire, which, okay, so the Unicorns were able to knock out one of those 12-pounders.
Yeah, but just got there. Yeah.
Oh, they were going to break it. They're breaking it. Oh, man, that's huge.
That is huge. Wow. Okay, but the thing is here is I think they actually did they move it? They moved a Unicorn. Wow. Yeah, the problem here for the French is again.
Oh, look at the far
Amish.
left. Look at the far left. These lifeguard Cuirassiers, they're sneaking up on that Grenadier
They've
unit.
already got them in square. They knew what was coming.
Yeah.
They knew what was coming.
Good catch.
Good catch. The British right now still brawling over the hill. In fact, actually beating the French Grenadiers right now. They've brought some fresh Shanks's Horses battalion. And the thing you were saying earlier was about the Russians.
You have to wonder, like, the British war machine has got to be running out of steam. I mean, they've been involved. Oh, look at that! The
Did
foot
you
battalion
see
getting
that?
driven off.
Oh, no, just behind it, the battalion de Cuirassier and a Grenadier just got hit by a Unicorn, breaking the Grenadier. Oh my god. I mean, Britain is taking the hill. They're taking the hill. See, this is the thing. You were saying about the Russians. They were moving quite lackluster. Oh my god. Oh no, the general.
You saw that too?
The general of the French just got hit.
Oh, along with about 50 Grenadiers.
Yeah, and the combined Grenadiers are pushing their way in. They're slowly working their way in. This is the thing. This is the argument I will give. to be fair to the French, not the French, the Russians don't really need to move right now because of the inaction of the French. Half of the French army is sitting in a forest alone, unpressured. The entire British force is currently taking the most important hill of the entire battlefield. The whole time they are destroying the artillery. There is no. There's
a battle over the building. The combined Grenadier Battalion.
Yep, they're coming in. Combined Grenadier. They've fallen back. They realize they're not taking that. The problem right now for the French is they are losing in the hill. Like the hill, they don't have any reserves now behind that hill. They have just one artillery piece. Right now, the Russians and the British have worked at killing every gun. There is one artillery piece left on the entire map, and it's next to Stockage.
Although that 12-pounder is doing work. I just saw it hit this Shanky's horse with canister, and you can see the dead bodies right there. I mean, I think it killed like 30, 40 men. It's firing directly uphill. It's got a beautiful line of sight, and it's being protected by 2 brigades of infantry here. I really, really hope that this is some sort of long play by Amish, because if at some point, let's put a clock on it.
Yeah.
How long can Amish sit here before you think it's absolutely a necessity that he has to deploy?
I think he has already missed the window.
Yeah. I mean,
he's missed the window. The British, if we look at where the British are, unless the British have some hidden reserve that we've not seen this entire time, if they just have something in the woodworks, because they have a couple of light infantry units there, they have 3 light infantry there. The fact that Amish has sat there with so many units, with so many grenadiers and the Cuirassier de Reserve.
Wait, the chat is saying something.
They are. He's moving. He's moving. He's deploying now.
Grouchy! Where is Grouchy?
Where is Grouchy with my 30,000 men? But we also have 2 cavalry units behind the French.
Oh.
But the thing is, he's moving forward. Like he's actually stopped moving now, and he's losing a gunfight to some light infantry. But I mean, look at it. Look at it. The center of the French is literally open. There is nothing there. And right now, the town is getting bombarded. The Russians don't need to move because they're firing unicorns and shrapnel artillery. Oh my god! A shrapnel artillery, proving why it's so strong, it just shattered a grenadier unit. It hit it in the center and killed 100 men. The unicorns coming in, breaking another grenadier unit. They actually didn't break them, but they hit them. Like, the French in the town are under siege, and the militia just break on the hill line. There is literally nothing left on the hill line. The British have claimed it. Now they're going to be volleying the artillery.
I'm starting to wonder how much Phosphor even has, in his army besides his far left. Is Grouchy marching?
Grouchy's marching. He's heading forward.
Oh, okay.
Does Clone notice? What can Clone do? Because the thing is, it doesn't matter now. He can fall back. He can afford to fall back because they don't have a center anymore. The French don't have a center. In fact, he's wrapping into it right now. The town is slowly getting cut off.
The one thing to point out is that the left flank of the French still has a lot of men, still nearly a full health unit of Cuirassier de Reserve. He's still got grenadiers there. Stockage is under threat, but it's not in any immediate threat of being taken in, say, like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So there is time, but the amount of French infantry that are just streaming from Stockage is disconcerting, to say the least.
Oh my god, the unicorn, another shot. Heck, wow.
Oh, look at this left flank. There are just units intertraced with each other. There's a light Bob's foot battalion that is it about to get sandwiched? I think it might get sandwiched between these militia. The militia forming square, that's smart. Grenadier's going to try to charge in the rear.
Here we go.
Oh, and Grouchy has come.
Here's Grouchy.
Grouchy has come.
Point at it with your mouse and hold N, and trust me, it's gonna look cinematic.
Oh, and the Cuirassiers diving in on the square along with the Grenadiers, and he. Okay, so Amish, I don't know if he's stream sniping. Maybe he's finally just sick of my trash talk. But he says, "All right, I'll show you aggression. Watch this." Oh my gosh.
He's running militia around Clone Trooper Shanks' horses, and on this left side.
But look at this. I mean, I think this shows just how fragile the British flank was. It's cracking, and it's cracking quickly.
It's cracking. The problem right now is it doesn't matter it's cracking. Yes, they're losing a lot of units. But what's the time? Like, can the French get to stockage by now? I mean, the stockage is getting, frankly, obliterated. And the French...
But look at this. Look at this, Dan. 1, 2, 3, 4 British units routing. These aren't militia. These are German Legion. These are Light Bob Foot Battalion.
This is crazy. Okay, they're falling, but the British falling back to the hill now.
He's going to drive them onto the hill. It's a hammer and anvil. This might work.
Yeah, this might be the breakthrough they needed, especially with Cologne moving the artillery. There's no artillery support now. But the thing is, the Russians, I don't know how much of the Russians have even engaged so far. The Russians we've seen very little of. Right now, they're just focusing on blowing things up with the artillery.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. And I mean, look at this. We've even got some French infantry coming back to the fight.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good to see.
Yeah, we see that. So the Grenadiers are going on Shanks' horses, but they're also getting volleyed by a British foot battalion in the side. I don't think it'll be enough, though. I don't think it will.
No.
He has got a battalion de militia coming in as well. The French do need to be careful now, though. Oh, we have a spherical case moving onto the hill, as I said would happen. Also, the last of the French guns, I believe, got shot to death by the infantry.
Oh, man. It's not a good day to be in the French artillery, that's for sure.
It really isn't. Well, they did push. All the British units just came back. Wow.
Oh, what happened to this? Look at this Battalion de Cuirassiers. I don't know what happened, whether it was shrapnel or musketry, but... Jeez, that's a lot of dead cavalry, and I don't remember an engagement over there either.
I think they've just been. I think they've just been in enough melees, and also they've just been shot to death, overshot. I mean, look at the bodies. Look at the bodies on this hill. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
now, look at this. The full Russian send on the right flank. This is about to be very scary.
Here we go. Here we go. Where is the general? The general's there. The general is ready. He's just going to point blank volley and charge. Come on.
I think so.
Point blank volley and charge. He's still moving.
Oh no.
Point blank volley and charge.
No. And now I fear Amish's advance. It's completely stalled. Look at this.
It has. I mean, all the British did was they reformed, and then they formed like a little. They've formed a disjointed U, and it's enough. And
just this is where, not to harp on this, but this is where just 1 or 2 units of hussars could have been so good. They could have driven off those infantry units, and they could already be approaching the hill.
Yeah.
But because you're having to chase them down with infantry of your own, it ensures that at some point they're going to reform, and you're going to have to fight the battle all over again.
It would have been really, really useful
Our
for
men
them to
are
have
running,
a couple
sir.
units just to shatter them. Although saying that, they are moving the Cuirassiers to reserve in, and they are getting a couple of good charges on that left side, but the problem is, they're too focused on the wrong side. Once Stockach falls, Stockach right now, by the way, the Russians making incredible progress right now, pushing their heavy cavalry through. Oh, their unicorns though, accidentally killing a lot of their own men. But they are pushing through really hard.
Well,
right
we're
now.
not. We are talking about the Russians after all.
We are. They don't give a fuck. But like,
but now the young guard being sent in against the Russian musketeers, and even though they're depleted, they are going to make mincemeat of them. All the Russian musketeers, their numbers are falling so quickly.
They get square off in the Lifeguards Cuirassier. They notice though, yeah, this is going to be slaughter. The Russians are going to win this, I think.
Our men are running.
I don't know. There's still 159 Cuirassier de Reserve that are about to get engaged.
Yeah, there's no cavalry on this side. Hang on. Oh no, there's the Cuirassier de Reserve. You're right. Hang on. That's going to be a problem. It's
massive.
Oh, and it comes. Oh no. Well, the thing is,
they're going to catch those lifeguard. They are absolutely going to catch those lifeguard.
That is the last cavalry unit on this side, basically for the French. They're pulling the Lifeguard Cuirassier back smart, but there is the Cuirassier Reserve, and there is a 38-man Cuirassier unit. That's all they have now on this side. As cavalry protection, they're getting closed in on the British, walking in on them. There's still a column of Russians. Stockach is like, again to say it, under siege.
Yeah. but it's not dead. It's absolutely not dead. Chewing through this many grenadiers and militia,
Our men are running, sir.
I'm not so sure the Russians can do it. I don't think they can do that and push on the right at the same time.
I don't know. Oh, the Cressy Reserve coming into the melee now.
Oh,
And it's
Kutuzov
breaking
is
them.
dangerously
It's
close to
breaking
the action
them.
there.
It's breaking
What?
the Russians. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh no! The Russians, they're streaming down. 1, 2, 3 units. Kutuzov is
Oh,
desperately
no.
trying to get out of there.
Oh,
And
Kutuzov,
they
get out of there.
Oh, did they lose? How many did they lose?
They lost 3
They
units.
barely lost the man.
Oh my god. That's the strength of them, I suppose. I mean, it's
Our
going to be
men
down
are
to the
The
running.
British
Russian
now.
right
How-
is just shattering.
How long can this British flank hold? I mean, they don't even have that many units left. They're doing damage, though. Look at that shot.
Oh,
But-
where
oh
is
my God.
Grouchy?
Where's Grouchy with my
Grouchy!
30,000 men?
Oh man, this is.
But
oh,
the
God,
melee
where-
continues. The Cressy de Reserve is very tired now. It could be at risk of breaking. If that Cressy de Reserve breaks, it could literally turn the entire battle around. We also have a battalion of light dragoons. Are they going to try and charge the Cressiena back? Oh please! Oh, they didn't. They didn't. Oh, what a shame. That would have been so.
You've got
funny.
Russian hussars in the back, also trying to clean up some routing French units, but
Yeah.
they're going to get caught by some grenadiers. That's going to be a
Okay.
nice catch for Team France.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
the
some
Cressy
light
Reserve
dragoons.
versus the Lifeguard Cressier now in a melee. It's gonna go the way of
That's
French.
going to go one way. Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very quickly.
Yep.
And
men are
Stockhatch,
running.
oh man, a full push into Stockhatch is now being commenced, but they're going to have no support from their right flank. It was just flattened. And yes, the British are closing in on Stockhatch, but Amish is closing in on the British. I'm so confused why he's extended his line so far out. I mean, he's
Yeah.
at the very edge of the map. He couldn't be farther away from Stockhatch at this point with his far right.
He's putting his grenadiers in the line. Right now, he's losing the gunfight. Yes, the British have less men in their units, but he's losing the gunfight. And he's also got grenadiers that are losing the gunfight that could be charging. I mean, he's going to lose that if he tries to continue it. Whereas the British and Russians, yeah. Oh my God, the Cressy de Reserve, their red morale, they might break.
No way.
I mean, they're kind of
They've,
going.
they've been restored.
They're kind of going.
I'm not
in
sure what
between.
they're doing.
Oh no, they're charging a Russian musketeer square.
Oh, are they
Does
going to get
Exilian
it?
see it?
No, I
Does
don't
he
think
see
he
it?
does. He doesn't.
He didn't see it.
Oh, and it didn't even get a volley off either. Just
Yeah, it was,
slam.
they got him right in the back. But the Cressier, they're getting charged in the back. I mean, I'll
don't-
be the first to say it. I don't know. I don't know how long they can hold the stockage. I mean, the Russians are closing in. They are.
Yeah.
And the Cressier Reserve, they're losing.
Are
Because
they?
they're getting
No,
shot
The
at.
men are fatigued.
They're
It's
getting
close.
shot by the square and the
They've
infantry.
broken the musketeer
The
battalion.
Lifeguard Cressier!
Oh,
the
19
Lifeguard
men.
Cressier! 19 men!
No, they're gonna lose.
Oh,
They're
the
still gonna
unicorn
win.
though! The unicorn! What a shot! They break
It's-
them! They
Oh my
break them! The Cressy deserve break to the 16-man Lifeguard Cressier!
And they're shattered.
Oh my
Oh.
God! There's the only cavalry left is the heavy cavalry of the French. Which, speaking of it, grenadier charge on the left side. The Cressy Reserve coming in. They're swinging round the flank of the British. Can they break stockage? Oh my God! These tables
well,
are turning.
Yeah, remember that there are 185 Cuirassier de Reserve on the far right. And is Amish finally going to do it? He might be going for just a giant melee, and he might be using this Cuirassier de Reserve, and he wants to just curl up the British. And I don't know how much time they got left, but Amish has to do something now.
He needs
In
to
fact,
do
I think he had to do something 10 minutes ago.
Yes, he did. He needed to start moving 10 minutes ago because Stockhatch is beginning to be encircled. And the Russians are going to win that. I mean, especially with the British, especially with the British wrapping around them. I mean, the French are weak. They have one single unit of heavy cavalry left to protect the town, and it's getting used right now. And a shrapnel, oh my God, the shrapnel artillery landing a shot dead on.
Our men
Somehow
are running, sir.
firing over the melee from the musketeer unit. This musketeer unit going to be able to hit these guys in the back.
Yeah, we're finally seeing the French Grenadiers engage on the far right, and the British are going to break quickly. Oh, wow, they actually break the battalion of Grenadiers that charged them.
They're
But
getting, I think they got point blank volleyed. I mean, Amish is charging in now, but is it enough? And I'm going to say no.
I don't know. Look back at stockage. I'm seeing a lot of Russian casualties mounting. I'm seeing Russian units breaking.
True.
These musketeer battalions, they are great in numbers, but I mean, these Grenadiers, they are fighting and they are fighting hard, even against the Portuguese infantry battalion. Oh man,
wow.
I didn't even see these guys.
Oh my god. Well, the thing is, though, the Russians can afford to take casualties. The French cannot. Oh my god. And a charge on the back of Phosphorus Grenadiers in the forest as well by the cavalry. The cavalry was shooting them in the back.
Our men
funnily
are running,
enough.
sir.
Oh my god, this might be the big break. This might be the big
Yeah.
break. Stockage is fully encircled.
The Young Guard able to get into square in time, and they've got reinforcing Grenadiers as well.
Grassy to reserve slowly. They are slowly taking some casualties. But Stockage is going to fall. It's going to fall. And not only is it
I
going
don't
to
think
fall,
so. I don't think so.
The French are dying. Oh, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I think
they're
it.
running out of men.
Well, no. Now I'm seeing the British curl around, and now okay, yeah, it is
Our men
absolutely
are
going to
running,
fall.
sir.
Speaking of things falling, look at the British line. Look at how quickly it got obliterated.
It did.
Look, they're already approaching the hill.
It really did, but here's the counterpoint here. Look at how tired the French are. That battalion de militia is about to shatter an impact. That Grenadier very tired. They're losing to the Portuguese infantry. All of the Grenadiers are tired. They don't have enough in the tank. They're going to have to seriously wrap around. But I'm seeing more coalition on the map than French, and the only main French force left is encircled.
Yeah, this is looking rough. These Grenadiers, they're holding out so well.
They are. They're
Even in the
clinging
face
on.
of overwhelming odds.
They really are. That Cuirassier reserve, Cuirassier unit, 28 men left, very tired. They're going to try and get Napoleon out. Looks like we've got a charge on Clone on the hill
They're
as
still,
well.
look at this, they're still going to break the Lithuanian Guard. Even
Oh.
27 Cuirassiers
They
going to be
break.
able to do something.
They break Clone
Oh.
Trooper on the hill.
Yeah, they do?
Yeah, his allied, well, one of his allied infantry, it wasn't in square in time. Cuirassier de reserve caught them.
Okay.
Oh, but that's the last of the French. The French are
Yeah,
gone, but the
Stockage is falling.
Napoleon's charging Wellesley. Napoleon's charging the Duke of Wellington.
Oh my gosh.
But Duke of
He's only got
Wellington-
12 men.
Duke of Wellington backs out. He's going for the spherical case.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Oh,
No, never mind. He went for Wellington.
He
He went
goes
for
back to Wellington. This is a desperation move, it feels like.
Yeah, but to
I
be
don't
fair,
know.
if he kills the British general, it could flip things. He doesn't have any men left, though. This is a total wiping of the French on this side of the battle.
But Amish still has quite a few forces. He's broken another light dragoon over there. There's no way he beats the British army and then
Napoleon's shattered.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is a coalition victory for sure.
I think this has now resulted in coalition. That battle for the town. Oh my
Sir,
God! There
your
was so
general
many
has
men.
been killed. This
Yeah.
is a
Yeah,
black
there's
day.
Napoleon dead. He's dead now. The entirety of the French over here breaking. I mean, the Russians just need to swing around now, but it's definitely coalition victory. They own Stockage. They own the 2-pointers. Yeah.
It depends, like I was thinking how many minutes remain, but even if Amish had half an hour left, I don't think he wins. I think he's just outnumbered.
He is. He's way too outnumbered. I mean, the Russians are sweeping into the town now. They also have, look at the corps they have that are just pushing the French away. Cuirassier reserve, exhausted, going in for the spherical case. They're going to get him.
Yeah.
It would have been really funny if they had a shrapnel ready.
Oh man. And at the end of the day, you really have to go back to Amish's passiveness on the far right, because I really think that was the linchpin of why the battle played out as it did.
Yeah, it really was. The French just getting rounded up and shot. There is far more coalition. I think there's still
The
like a
men are
solid 10
fatigued,
minutes
sir,
left
and
of
must
clock,
rest a
maybe.
while.
I mean, there's a grenadier unit over here, but against the Black Watch, everything's tired. Cuirassier reserve are exhausted. They're in the middle of a checkerboard of squares. Oh my God! Oh my!
What?
A fresh unit of Cossack Lancers have just appeared.
What?
Wow, that was
That's
kept in the
insane.
back pocket for a while.
Oh man, but there's still like a significant number of Russians.
Yeah, the Russians played
And
really
on the
passive.
far left, I mean, what do you call this on the far left but a rout? Like this is a rout.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, there is nothing left
Yeah.
of the French force. They have a couple of grenadiers. Oh, the British general is getting charged by the Cressida Reserve. Yeah, he's not gonna get him. There's the problem for the French right now. Oh, they actually beat the Black Watch while exhausted. That's surprising. The problem for the French right now is that the French have a few units that are dotted about everywhere, and as well as that, all of them are tired or exhausted. Very tired, exhausted. Oh, that one's fresh. Exhausted, very tired, exhausted, Cressida Reserve, exhausted. I mean, yes, they are currently breaking the British. Funnily enough, they are actually doing a lot of damage to the British. But the Russians just outnumber them to a scale that's not even fair to compare.
yeah. It's it was so close. It was so close.
It really was. It was such a close game. There we go. That's a
And there it is.
6,800 kills for the British.
Wow.
Wow.
That's it's unspeakable.
That really is
Wow.
unspeakable. Wow. Wow. Amazing battle, though. Amazing
Mhm.
battle.
Mm-hmm.
But wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of kills.
That is.
Oh, Clone actually,
Um,
he killed 2 less people than he brought. Exactly 2
Oh.
men. Wow.
It's certainly an interesting showcase in players getting a second chance to do something different and how often we can just fall back on the same plan. In some ways the French plan was vastly different, and in other ways it was identical.
Yeah. I mean, it was such a good battle. Both battles were so good. Okay, we should probably jump into their VC. I think Clone Sing he's leaving. So we've
All
got
right.
2 minutes with him. Hello, everybody. GG's, GG's, GG's. Well played to everybody. That was a great battle. Really, really damn good battle. So on the topic of who wins, Clone Trooper and Exelian, you guys won that battle by LOC.
Whoa.
Hold up.
We had half the map.
Yeah, but you also
The
had
other
like,
one.
you had like 6 units left. But
That's.
it was.
I had my. What?
No, it's just if we're looking at it, you guys had nothing left. All your guys were exhausted, and they were also weak, and the Russians outnumbered them massively. Also, they control Stockhatch, which is like the main point. But either way,
That's not how it
we're-
works.
We're kind of ruling it as Smoking Cat's victory because they did win the battle.
We are playing
We
LOCs.
had the LOCs.
It's not
I don't
about the battle.
see like.
Yeah, but the problem
The rules
problem
are
is more,
LOC.
Yeah, but it's also the rules are LOC, but it's battle line LOC. So if you don't have a actually usable front line, it's counted as spreading out and trying to just capture points. I mean,
How
we
many
could-
units would constitute frontline?
Well, it needs to be a consistent front line that is usable and not a front line that's gonna shatter on impact immediately. I mean, listen, we can talk about this later on, and we can look it over. But
Sure.
I mean, me
I think
and Pete
there
were
should
very
be
much on
some review. I think it's a little ambiguous because they did control a lot of the map. I think that we won, but I obviously am biased,
Yes,
so
obviously.
I think it's fair to do a review.
Yeah, I mean the reason why we're saying it is this map has a lot of LOCs, and yes, you guys, the French were able to push really hard, and you did control half the map. But me and V from the casting couch of watching it, it was more the fact that it's generally LOCs. The reason Battleline LOC exists is so that you can have 5 units left and claim a victory. Because, admittedly, if we're looking at the French, you guys had nothing left. You had a dead general, and you had a couple of grenadiers that were exhausted, and a heavy cav. Yes, heavy
no
cav's
generals
important.
died. No general. Oh wait, his general
yeah,
died.
My
yeah,
general
Napoleon.
died.
His general died. Mine
Yeah.
was alive. I had the Cursor Reserve alive. I had
Anyway,
a number of
I gotta
have a
go.
fresh grenadier unit that I forgot about.
See ya.
Bye.
I had
See ya,
quite a
Cole.
few still.
Yeah, I know, and I am taking that into account. It's just while you did have a few units left, it was more the fact that the Russians had like half their army still alive and were just they're kind of on cleanup duty. Because we're playing for we're playing for LOC, and so we are going to take that into account 100%. But if one side is very clearly got less men than the other and would lose in any engagement, then you kind of have to rule in favor of the side that's going to win it. Either way, this is something we can do later on. We can look at the LOCs. We can actually calculate who has exactly what. Either way, right now we should just be saying congratulations to everybody. Good job. That was a great battle. Either way, there's going to be another battle. And so I think by the rules, usually, so that means that Smoking Cats will be choosing the next map, and the Alliance side, TFG, you guys will be choosing the Coalition or Imperial.
Sounds good. It was a good match.
Yeah, that was. Is there anything either of you guys would like to say? Anybody would like to say?
No, I mean, great match. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a great match.
Well played.
Yeah, GG's everybody. We're gonna have to look at everything and make sure that we have the correct winner. Either way, that should really be about it. GG's. I'm gonna head off and speak to the stream and end things.
Question, Excellent. Have you guys saved your game?
Oh yeah, did you guys
Like
have
the replay?
replays? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Great. Okay. Well, we'll have a little look. Either way, we're gonna have another stream in the future for the next match. Thank you to everybody for joining. Thank you for the team, Smoking Cats and Taskforce Jackal. And we'll see how the results come out. But thanks for coming along, and goodbye, everybody.